development to play under another head coach.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. Let me ask the panel a question if y'all don't mind. Hey, Trucker, you can start. You can answer first. Hall of Fame college football says, quick question: how long does it take to load up significant defensive line talent? Trucker, what you think?
Repeat it one more time for me again.
Quick question: how long does it take to load up on significant defensive line talent?
Oh, how long does it take to load up on significant defensive line talent? Um, Shit, because you can get lucky and get it in a year, but I would say realistically, setting a goal, I give it 3 4 years, bro.
Okay.
Three.
Anybody else?
What we talking about, college or pro?
Yeah, college, like at
I
Colorado.
think you could get a. I think you get a elite defensive line in a portal window. I think
Yeah.
defensive linemen, you could
Mm.
find
Elite,
guys.
elite
No, I
though, bro.
don't. I disagree.
I mean,
I disagree.
relative to like your relative to your talent pool, yes.
I mean, you could probably patch it up out of the portal. I mean, but if you want something elite, I believe you gotta. That's something you have to develop out of your own. To play to your strengths on your specific defensive scheme that you running. You know what I
I
mean?
think D line one of those positions to is plug and play. Honestly, bro. It don't
Oh
need. It
hell
really don't
no.
need that cohesiveness like the
Yeah.
offensive line do.
Yeah. Anybody else want to take a shot at that
I
before I
think. I
answer?
think. I
What
think
I
it
missed
take.
though? What I missed?
Nothing. You ain't missed nothing.
I
I
say I say a portal window too, but like I said, it has like it's gonna come down to coaching though, schemes, coaching.
Yeah. I agree there.
I
Okay.
think it
I
takes
would.
2 years.
I actually agree with trucking. Now
Yeah,
y'all.
I agree with checking as well. I agree with
Yeah.
checking as
You think
well.
it take 3 years to get elite?
Even with the
Come on, man.
transfer
Like you
portal,
get a
you
you
have
get
That's
an
to
elite
crazy,
edge
move
man.
it up.
rusher. You get a one
Yeah,
technique to hold it down. Like you good.
No, the problem is
Colorado
to
got an
get.
elite rusher right
Uh,
now.
now remember and look at it. Look at his question. The question: how long does it take to load up on significant defensive line talent? What that is that that means you have depth also, right? You mean and your depth can move bodies, but on the offensive line. So I think it takes plug and play and also development. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a recruiting cycle, whatever you get out of that, another recruiting cycle, which in turn is development, and you go grab a plug and play. I think that's how you get significant elite defensive
I
line
do
talent.
I
I
do
think those
think
days. I think those days are dead, Ron. And
agreed.
those
what you
days are
yeah,
dead.
because everybody's on a 1 year deal, bro.
Everybody, you ain't getting paid. If you coming in as a high school recruit, you a top 100 recruit, and you ain't
Mhm.
seeing time that freshman year, you looking elsewhere, bro.
Yeah.
You not gonna be able to load up
You
that
can't load up on
talent
talent
like bro. You
nowadays,
can't you
bro.
can't load up on talent like that no more.
If you
Okay,
get
It's not possible.
I'll give you an example that's just a player's perspective. I don't know what's wrong with them, or I don't know what's wrong with him, but I'll use Omarion Miller. Omarion Miller, if we were talking about developing elite wide receivers, would be the perfect example. You get a guy extremely talented, right? I don't know what you're doing, and I don't know what's going on with him, but at year three, he's part of your elite wide receiver. So you just take a couple of more and you do the same thing. Then you go grab a portal guy, stick him in there. That's how that comes. You
Do you
don't.
think
Yeah, but
do you
he's
think
trying to get a
Colorado
full
had?
wide receiver lineup through the portal, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie, bro. Amarion Miller should
I
have
think
played over
receiver.
some of them receivers last
I
year.
Well,
think receivers.
I
I
ain't
think
talking about
receivers is another
Marion
one
where
of
he
those
should do.
positions
That
where
ain't
you can
the
get three
huh.
and four and be fine, bro.
So what?
I think receiver is another one of those positions to where you could just pick out the portal.
No, that ain't
Honestly,
really that ain't the point I was trying to make.
I
But
get I get what you're saying.
yeah,
I get what you're trying to say, but
yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it takes long. Obviously, if you can do it like your way, that's like the best case scenario. If you can cultivate talent, you can have guys in your program for 2 to 3 years, and then and let them grow under you, and you got the right coach and the right. That's like the perfect way to do it. But in
mhm.
this new age of college football, bro, I mean, it's gonna be very difficult if you just
Well,
got talent as your second or third string, just
I
sitting. They
don't think
they
you're
gonna they
trying to
gonna want that
say.
time.
But I don't think you're trying to save. I see if I go through a high school recruiting cycle, right? Let's go. I go through a high school. Uh, just walk through it here, and y'all work with me
Mhm.
and shoot me down when I'm wrong. This is what I'm saying. Okay, you come in, you pick up four defensive tackles out of high school recruiting. You pick up four. You grab maybe one or two out of the portal. You match them up. you don't lose all four. Let's say you may the next season you may lose. Let's say I'll go half. You lose two of your high school guys, right? But you went through the same process for that. Now you just snatched four more, right, out of high school. So now you got six, and you one or two porters. The porters I'm getting, guys, I'm just giving them one and done, bro. I don't care nothing. I'm not trying to make this complicated, right? So now you got six, and you patch up whatever you need to patch up.
Hmm.
After that year two, you got six. I'll go 50% too. Let's say you lose three, and I think this is a lot. But then that next recruiting cycle, you just picked up four more. Now you at seven, and then you patch it up with um, whatever you need to out of the portal. But of that amount, you've had people within your program for 3 years. They know what you're supposed to do, and if we're assuming there's good coaching, bro, you too deep at D tackle easy with experience.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying
So what you saying, Raw? So you think Prime need to start recruiting more high school kids and developing them?
back on
Bro,
this high
I ain't
school
saying what he
recruiting.
should do, bro. I'm answering bro
I
question.
right, I get what you're saying. All I'm saying is like some of these kids are gonna want to go down to a lower level to get some playing time. You're gonna be recycling portal every year, right? So those players that are coming as a portal, you probably paying them. They probably on salary, right? So they definitely gonna want to see the field. It's just gonna be very tough to like really develop that kid like a 3 star. You know, he don't got that many offers. He comes to your school. You bringing in portal guys ahead of him. He's getting over recruited every single year. He might not be ready to play till his third year. At that time, he might have wanted to try to get some film. He might want to go to like a lower level to get some film, then try to come back up. We've seen a lot of players come out, go P5, don't get a lot of playing time. Then they go down to G5 or down to a lower level. Then they come back up, right? When they get that experience playing actual real life college football. So and the thing is like you can and it's not just about high school recruiting. You can recruit a portal guy that's like a redshirt freshman, and he has
Mm-hmm.
3 years of eligibility left. So
Yeah, I agree.
he technically is a transfer, but you're going to be the ones who's developing for the 3 years left in his eligibility. So I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. I'm just saying it's way more difficult to pull that scheme and maneuver off in today's
Yeah.
college football. And then on top of the fact that we getting these roster limits now, when they make that decision, the Supreme Court make that decision
I
about
thought they just upped it. I thought isn't it 105 now?
yeah, it's going to be 100 to 5. So you're obviously going to lose a lot of walk on players,
Yeah. No,
rev
yeah, I think
share and
they
shit like that.
said
So
I think they said it's 105, but you can't have no walk-ons though.
yeah, you can't. Everybody going to be on scholarship. Yeah, yeah.
Everybody gonna be on
So
scholarship.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
agree with.
balance it, bro. You gotta balance it.
Yeah, you
You
do,
need.
man. No, go
Hey,
ahead. Bro. I'm just a man. I'm just saying. Yeah,
in
yeah.
D
Oh,
Go ahead,
line,
sir. Go
in
ahead,
D
sir.
line, one of those positions. I think if you a dog, you a dog. Like obviously there's some mental aspects to the games, but if you can get after the passer, you can get up. If you can push bodies, if you got the strength and the leverage enough to hold uh to hold double teams to get off blocks. Like I mean, you're gonna be able to do that anywhere. So I think
Hmm.
finding those guys in the portal and bringing 3 to 4 and total you could totally change your defensive line in a portal cycle, and you could put now to be an
yeah,
elite. Yeah, you probably need some development there, but to be a really good defensive line, I mean, I think you could get those guys out the portal.
but you don't think
bro.
the portal
Bro,
is?
I don't think nobody. It ain't that many elite defensive linemen in the portal, bro. It's
nah,
That's
it
what I
actually
was gonna
really
No,
ain't.
say.
I'm
Not
saying
this
no.
cycle.
I'm not saying like each player you're gonna get is elite. I'm saying like you get, let's say there's like one elite defensive pass rush, you go get him. He's like an A+ player. Then you get a bunch of like B+
so
players.
you
You
ain't
add all
getting
that
them
together, the collective
E,
group is gonna be
These players
elite,
ain't
right?
coming out the
EA,
portal
You might
though.
have one elite. You
see,
might have one first round, second round guy, but then you got a bunch of fourth or fifth round guys who are really good at the college level. That collective group gonna be an elite line.
But you don't think
Yeah.
the
you
portal
being a
is
little
like?
disingenuous on that one, EA.
You
What
don't
you
You
think the
got to
mean?
portal is
spend
like
money in the
other
portal
people's
early.
like
Yeah,
not
bro,
other
you
people's
ain't.
trash, but like if these players were that fucking world beaters, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't their team want to keep them? Like offer them more money? Like these players coming out of the portal aren't the best players in college football. These is
Yeah, they
motherfuckers
not.
that was second, third string that didn't really get that much playing time that are moving on. most of the time.
Yeah, it just like
I
that.
mean, they coming up.
It was like
Honestly,
that
I was thinking
freshman
about this
edge,
the other day.
the one I
I
was at
I much
Missouri.
rather people want to rag on like G5U and getting some of these players at a lower level. I'd much rather a player coming up that's got quality film that dominant has level than trying to get a second, third string, fourth string off a SEC or Big Ten team.
That's where the ballers is coming from. The ballers is coming from that level anyway. They
You talking about
hungry.
the G5 or the?
Yeah, the G
Yeah,
five. They
yeah,
hungry.
they hungry. You
I
know,
Wait
think
a
a lot
minute.
of
Wait
everybody
a
people finna
be
minute.
start
getting
taking that
excited about
JUCO
getting some of
route
these
too.
players.
Wait a
Oh,
minute. Hold on.
he got recruited
Do you
by Alabama and Georgia. He a third string. Like, oh, he was a 4-star coming out of high school. Like, I want them G5 niggas that hungry, man. Real talk.
wait? Hold on. So you
Well,
think these
first off, let's
G?
get
You
this
think
straight. I gotta say, there is no elite players come out of G5.
No, no.
No,
You probably ain't getting no elite
right.
players
And
out
we
of
were
it.
talking. This conversation is circled around elite.
Okay, so we focused on the word elite right now. Okay. All right, I got you.
Come on, yeah, you doing too much, bro. You doing
All
too
right.
Yeah,
much,
they're
bro.
not
Uh,
elite player. I mean, shit, what was the kid's name? Texas rusher.
you gonna get some
Morris.
nice.
Trey was I don't know his name. Texas pass rusher came from UTSA. Hey, he was starting
Oh,
for the
Trey
Texas team.
Moore.
Trey Moore, yeah, Trey Moore. UTSA, he started for the Texas team. I think he had like 6, 7 sacks. Like, I mean, is he elite? I don't know, but he's starting for a Final Four team in a playoff.
that don't really mean that?
Wait, hold on, wait, EA. See, that's what I'm talking about, bro. You a smart guy, bro. You know what you're doing. You being a little slick. You a smart guy. See, when y'all do that, bro. Like, I don't say like if I'm doing something or making a decision because what we're talking about is recruiting and how to recruit and what your preference is.
Okay.
Bro, and then when we talk about this, man, and you give, if we were talking about anything, and the ratio was 1 to 3,000, we would never say that's an actual option to be banging on to understand to
I'm saying
for
there's
a
diamonds
winning
in the
team,
rough.
bro.
Diamonds in the rough. You can go find those guys.
This boy
Bro,
CJ
but
Stroud
EA,
got 7 yards.
that that's not a plan for success, bro.
No,
Bro, this is that.
but how many elite guys you getting at the portal anyways? If you can find that
Hey,
one guy at
None.
the G5 level, you
None.
ain't getting elite
You
guys
ain't
at the
getting no elite
That's what
players
I'm
out of the
that's the
saying.
portal.
point.
So
None.
damn shit. If you can find a G5 guy that's
None.
that got like a draft grade or whatever, then yeah, try to get him.
There are no elite players on the portal. You're
Let me
not
tell
getting
y'all,
any
if
elite out
you
the portal. There are.
Nah,
perspective,
bro, it do be some elite players. They just don't. They just be
perspective.
going up.
If you found 20 elite players in the portal,
Nah,
right?
that's too.
If there was no, no, hold on. If there was total
When
20,
we saying elite, we talking about like the best players in college football, right? Like
yeah,
all
yeah,
American
yeah,
type players.
yeah. So let's say you found
Those
20.
players don't be hitting the portal.
All right, let me
That-
change to this. Let's say you found 20 AP All Americans in the portal. That's still not a plan to go with. It's 133 FBS schools, and, and it's I don't know what 3,000 portal players, and we talking about that's a viable option as far as trying to
not
build
for not
success,
for not for
bro.
Big
Come
12
on,
team,
bro.
but a team like Oregon can pull it off.
No.
Not for
no,
a
No.
Big
bro.
12 team.
The bro.
College
I,
free agency is meant to build up your roster, help your depth to fit your schemes offensively and defensively. That's it.
I
Nothing
agree with
more,
that.
nothing less.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
JB,
bro,
come
the
on
best.
up here so you can tell us how we
But
wrong,
I
bro.
think
Come
D
on.
line one of those positions to where like you ain't gotta wait 3 years to get a good D line.
Bro, the best
I
players
think I
in
think
college
I think
football.
what you to for significant play out of D line to fit your to fit your scheme, to fit your defensive scheme. You don't think that takes time to develop?
I don't know. D line one of those
So you
positions
know what I
that
mean. So you just going to go ahead in the portal and grab significant help out of the portal for your defensive line.
D
No, that's
line one
going
of
to
those
take
Hell
some
no.
positions to
time
where
to
Yeah,
I
that's
would
develop.
That
crazy,
lean
bro.
CU shit, bro.
if I was
This that CU
building
shit.
a roster construction like D line probably one of those positions to where I would like lean portal every year, and I
It
would
What?
takes
look
3 years at least.
other where I would look other like
That's what
other
I
positions I would
said.
look to
That's
develop.
what I said. Three
Wait a
years.
minute. Wait a minute.
I said give it 3 years, man. 3 to 4 years, man. That
Bro,
you'll
that's too
get your
long,
significant.
Chubbs.
I don't like this. I don't like this thing of that D line's plug and play. Like you can't
But
just
it's
put.
not
Ain't
plug
even
and play,
true.
bro.
There's
That
no
is
That's what I'm
not
saying.
plug
plug
and
Like,
play.
and play
like
D line.
I'm
talking about
Hey,
confused.
I'm talking about
fella. Hold on,
relative
fella.
to
We
the
got
other
we got somebody in
positions
the
on the field, bro.
No
yeah,
way.
you're right. Yeah, we
Relative to
got
the other
somebody in the
positions
we
on the
got Jason
field.
Watkins over here from the Hall of Fame channel. Welcome, Jason. Well, welcome. How you doing?
What's up, my guy? How you doing?
I
All
can't
right,
call it,
what's up,
brother.
man?
Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody.
No
Uh-huh.
doubt.
I got to chime in on this one, bro. Come on, man. It takes forever to build up a D line. If you got a bad D line, you are not going to build that in a year. And that's what I'm talking about with Colorado. Y'all talking about expecting miracles out of this coaching staff for them to be ready to win a natty in year 2. And they were 111 before they got there. There's no way you can do it. I don't care if you bring in 5 Warren Saps to show these guys how to do it. It doesn't matter. You got it.
Wait,
Because
I'm
there's
not even
not.
saying.
Indiana did it,
No,
and
they
they was in
didn't.
the
No,
They
playoff.
didn't.
they didn't do
Indiana,
no.
Mm-mm.
Indiana played
No,
one
that's
No.
why they
football
could
team
that's
all
why they got
season,
beat.
bro. One
I
football
mean,
team all season, and they got their ass drugged by
Yeah, they had no depth, bro. Indiana had no depth. None.
I mean, they made the
Yeah.
playoff. I mean,
Yeah, they made the
They
playoff,
made
but
the
they ain't had
playoff
no depth
because
I
the
mean,
on
you
the D
expect
line.
Indiana to
because
win
the
the
Bull
Natty.
had
I
the
mean,
105th strength of
bro,
schedule.
who got depth in college football, bro?
Nobody
All
has
these
depth
Ohio
rosters,
anymore.
State,
all these rosters get
Notre
like
Dame,
There's depth. Yep.
Yeah.
Notre
That's
Dame's
why
got a bunch.
Saban left,
Notre
because he
Dame had a
couldn't
bunch
stack
of
up all them
injuries and
5
still got
stars.
depth.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought BYU had depth
yeah,
No,
I
for
think that.
what
BYU
for
is just
what for
disciplined,
the
bro.
conference that they were in. I think for the Big 12, I felt like
it still wasn't
BYU
enough.
had depth. Huh?
Absolutely.
And it still wasn't enough.
Well, I'm just saying teams that got
There's a
depth. That was the
difference in
question,
the
bro.
SEC and the everybody else, and the
Yeah.
I don't
SEC
know.
Big
I
Ten and
think
everybody else.
I
I
think
mean,
landscape is changing in
but
college
if you're
football, bro.
talking a seriously elite defensive line like you're going to find in the SEC at Georgia or Alabama or Ohio State, Michigan, you are not building that in one damn portal cycle. You are out your mind if that's what you think.
Man, you
There's
gotta have
no
some
way.
money.
Yeah. Uh-uh.
No, you
You can't do
can.
that.
Like you can, Jason. You just gotta
You
have
just
some
gotta,
money.
yeah, you
No.
gotta have
You
If
Well,
you
gotta
hold
have
got
on.
20
more
million like Ohio
No, you
State could
because
do,
can't.
there's
just
You
not
build
gotta,
a
you
even
cannot
D
do
line
portal
that.
guys. There's
cycle.
not
No,
Ohio
even
State had
depth
a
to
$20 million. Didn't
develop it.
Ohio State have a $20 million roster, something like that?
No,
Yes,
no.
they do.
Ohio State, they got a lot of those guys out of high school. They
thank
recruited a
you.
lot of those guys
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they
they
paid
that
did.
they
them.
got playing, right?
That's right.
And then they went into the portal to plug and fill positions. That's
Mostly
what
in
they
the
did.
secondary.
No,
Yes,
the
they
pro.
didn't. They
I
didn't. You know
I
what I
I
mean?
I can
That's
give y'all a perfect example who
Notre
tried to
Dame
do it.
only got 13 players out of the portal. That's all development. Marcus
Yeah, Notre
Freeman, that's
Dame.
all
Yeah,
development there.
Yep.
yeah, he be developing. I hope
Yeah.
he win, cause
No,
he'll
But
be the first black coach to win, huh?
I'm saying,
If
but
he
Notre
win, huh?
Dame, we talking about blue bloods, man. That's different for
hey, wait, hold on. No, I got one.
Oregon.
I know
And,
somebody who tried to do it and it didn't work. Ole Miss. They tried to
Oh
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
Ole Miss got all them
They
people out
yeah.
the
tried to
portal
buy a
last
defensive
cycle.
tackle. And the bad thing about
That
Ole
wasn't even a
Miss,
1-year deal though either.
well, but it didn't work though. That defensive line still wasn't what it's supposed to be.
Nah,
You
Nope.
ain't got Walter Nolan and
Prince
Yeah.
Ume
right, and that
no,
yeah.
stuff
that's
didn't
fair.
work
That's fair.
out.
That's fair about Ole Miss. That's fair about Ole Miss.
Yeah, bro. And then on top of that, what makes it even worse is Ole Miss, their school is where you breed defensive tackles.
Ain't that some shit too?
That's
That's
crazy.
where they from, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's all Mississippi to produce. Defensive tackles, bro.
Yeah.
Telling you, man, and they couldn't do it.
It
take years, man. It takes some years to do that, man. To get it, like I said, take years.
not only do you have to have the NIL money, you also have to have the right guy coaching them, and you got to make sure that you have to fit into your culture. This idea that you can just mercenary the entire team and think that that's going to work. Look, it did work to an extent with Coach Prime. He's a special case though when it comes to that because he's a superstar in his own right who can attract guys that not everybody else is going to be able to attract. In fact, nobody else is going to be able to attract those guys, right? And he still didn't have a very good defensive line in year 2. And that's flipping the whole roster over.
Mm-hmm.
The best players in college football come out of college. I mean, come out of high school, bro. You got to
Of
develop these
course.
players, get them out of high school. The portal is just to have the depth, the backups. Now, I got a question. Do you think college football in a couple years will be like the NFL? Meaning, this NIL, they're gonna start using this NIL, signing players, these big contracts, And
Yes.
Yeah, because revenue
Yeah.
Yeah,
share
they're gonna do
revenue share is
multi-years for
coming, and
sure.
I think this
Yep.
year, I think revenue share is coming.
Yeah, revenue share is going to change it all because,
Yes.
except that I don't think that it's going to get. Are you asking the question that it's going to make it a lot of parity? Because I think that the parity stuff is right now. I don't think it's going to stay like that though.
I think the portal thing. I think the portal thing is gonna change to where these
Yeah.
players.
Yeah, it has
And
to.
I could be wrong, but these players are not gonna have as free reign as they do now. Where you can
Yeah,
just
Right.
I
leave a
agree with
school.
Meaning,
that. I agree with
meaning
that.
what? Meaning like,
Leaving
Meaning like
every
you can
year.
just because now you can just leave a school whenever you want to, pretty much. Like,
Oh,
okay.
you'll always be able to do that.
but I think it's gonna change to where these teams are gonna have to start signing these players. Hey, we got you for 3 years. We
Mm-hmm.
got you for 2 years. You can't leave.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna sign you to this
Or
big
you have to sign
NIL
after
Contract.
a year.
contract,
You
No,
have to
and
there's
do
definitely going to
collective
be
bargaining
restriction on
first.
once rev share comes. There's definitely going to be restriction on player movement for sure.
No, they're not.
They ain't gonna have that Wild West shit. I'm telling you, it's not
It
gonna happen.
depends on. It depends on. I think that you guys got to pay attention to the fact that it's not always players wanting to move. I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of times you get coaches like, for instance, I'm an Oklahoma guy. Most of my shows about OU and stuff. And this year, I mean, Coach Venables doesn't love the portal. He came from the Dabo school. He doesn't love the portal. You know what? They dumped 30 guys. They had to. Some of them were guys that he liked and wanted them to stay on the team, but they weren't going to be able to afford them. Number one, and number two, he's kind of on the hot seat at this point and doesn't have time to wait.
Mm-hmm.
but
So if you're not going to contribute, then we're so don't think that these guys don't get processed some of the time, because they do. A lot of the time it is getting processed out of there. Just because you don't hear about it don't mean nothing. They're told to get in the portal. Now the school ain't going to come out and say we told them that. You know what I mean?
Right.
but you
and
don't think that's like the NFL? We don't have a roster spot for you. Go ahead and become
I
a free
think
agent.
I know what you're talking about, and I don't know that. Here's the thing: the NIL is never going to change because they can't. That's what you make off of like endorsements is what it's supposed to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's what that's going to turn into is when revenue share. Now that revenue share is there, the Big 12 teams right now they can still compete, and so can the ACC teams because they got 22 million to put up for revenue share, right?
Right.
But if you're Kansas State and you make $110 million this year, but you pay out 100 and you got to pay 20, that's cutting into your NIL money, man. And so the big boy schools are always going to be the big boy schools because not only can they afford the rev share because they're getting most of the money from their television deal or whatever, they can way afford that. On top of that, they already buy players like crazy. So that 20 million is a drop in the bucket. Look at Michigan. They were talking about they're going to spend $55 million in NIL next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's their expectation. That has nothing to do with the 20 million.
Clemson about to drop a bag too.
Yep. And so this is the thing. The people that think that, oh yeah, it's going to get so much better for the G5, or not the G5, but the other two power conferences, they're going to be right there. All they need is access. Bullshit, man. Because guess what?
They're gonna come. They're gonna come with salary cap though, right? They're gonna have a salary cap, right? That's the whole
Not
thing.
on the NIL. They're not.
Nah, they're probably not gonna do that. You
What
don't
do you
have
mean
to
on the
go
I'm saying
player
it's going to
associations
shift.
and all that other shit like that set up. You know what I
I
mean?
mean,
Like,
Didn't
it's
Michigan just
gonna
get
have to
that
come.
quarterback
It's
like
gonna have to
15
come
mil
to
or
that.
something like that?
It's gonna have to come to a collective bargaining agreement, bro. It can't be like
That-
they trying to.
In the
Like,
NFL, your money that you make from the team has nothing to do with what you make from Gatorade or Nike or whoever.
well, I'm saying
right.
they're not gonna allow. They're not gonna allow. It's gonna be a cap to where, as far as like
Mm-mm.
payment for players will be. There will be a cap to even a playing field. Now, are you
Yeah.
saying like teams are gonna be
Bro,
able
if
to
you think that
offer?
they're doing all
No.
this to even the playing field,
No.
that the blue bloods and the big boys
No.
are
No, I'm
like,
saying the
okay, yeah, let's
I'm
take it
saying
even.
each. I'm
Hell
saying that
no.
each. I'm saying
Now
each
I got a
conference,
question
bro.
for y'all leading into this for everybody, right? Do y'all think that more teams would finish out their television contracts and try to move more in an independent lane, seeing how what Notre Dame did, they cleaned up this playoffs.
No, the conferences make
No,
too
not
much
everybody's
money.
Notre Dame, brother. Not
They
everybody.
Yeah.
cleaned up. They
Not
cleaned up.
not everybody Notre Dame, bro.
Yeah,
I
but they
that's
won't.
Notre
But they
Dame.
won't make it. But they won't make it every year, Chubby. So it'll end
Uh-huh.
up being a wash anyway.
Right.
But EA, yeah, it's impossible to cap NIL.
You can't do it.
What do you mean? I'm
Mm-mm.
talking
Yeah,
about the
that's
payment for the
against the
players.
law.
No,
Huh?
NIL. You talking about? Wait, y'all confuse me. I'm talking.
Mhm.
I'm talking about when teams, because right now how players are getting paid is by collect. It's not NIL. It's collectives that are
No,
paying these players on
well, yeah,
salary.
that's but they're
They're,
calling it NIL.
well, it's not NIL, bro. Players are getting paid
It
by
is, though.
collectives, right?
Yeah, but it
NIL
don't.
is
But you
like
can't
you
cap
sign
that
some
though,
autographs.
EA.
I'm saying it will be capped,
No,
right?
No, that
Because
won't be capped,
they'll
bro.
do away with the collectives, and then
It's
the actual university will be paying the players. Once the university is actually paying the players, there will be caps put in place, and player movement will be restricted,
no,
right? Because once they do the rev share, that means whatever the school is bringing in from XYZ athletic department, that's gonna get shared with the players.
But that
And
doesn't
at
have
that
anything to
point,
do with
With
NIL, or if
NIL,
you want to call it collective,
right?
bro.
That still had nothing to do
wait,
with
hold on. I'm talking
NIL.
about how the players are getting paid. How are the players getting paid right now?
Through
Look, through
NIL,
it's
bro.
not,
NIL.
it's
No,
not
no,
part
no,
of
no,
the
no, no, no.
fee.
They're getting
It's
paid
not
by
part of the fee.
collectives.
But
Well,
it's
well, the
Right.
collectives like so. Look, the collectives could
you
be
tried to get rid of
Hall of
collectives. That didn't
Fame,
work.
Rawhide, Truck and Chubby,
Yeah.
right?
Right. That could be a collective, bro.
That's
Right.
a collective.
That's not. Hold on. The collective's not going to exist once they go to the rev share.
That's
No,
not
but
Why?
true.
no,
That's not
it's
true, bro.
No,
That's
separate,
not
bro.
true, bro.
Separate.
Wait. That was I know the collectives operate technically, right? Like with the quotes, right? They operate. They're supposed to be operating independently of the school, right?
Correct.
Right.
Isn't it? You're right.
Obviously, everybody knows that's not happening right now, right? That's why
Yeah, but
that's
EA,
how all the tampering and all this shit happening. So I'm saying once they go to rev share, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
going to change who's actually paying these players. It's going to be the schools paying these players now, right? The collectives is
No,
the
not going to
collectives are
be
just going to
going to
step
be
aside
rendered.
and stop paying the schools. You think, or stop paying
no,
for these players that they
no,
want to
Yeah,
pay
bro. That's
schools?
not gonna happen, bro.
no.
Come on, man.
It just means more money
Yeah,
now.
that's not gonna happen, bro.
Just
Mhm.
means
Yeah.
more money. I mean,
It
the
just
schools
means
Yeah.
that
the schools that have the most, like Michigan and Georgia
Yeah.
and Oklahoma and Texas and Alabama and all these cats
I
and
ain't know
Notre
Michigan
Dame
had that money
are
like that.
That's
they're gonna pay like
that's
20
my
million for
understanding.
the rev
I'm
share.
understanding. I could be wrong. The way I'm thinking about it is like once rev share comes into play, right? Once the players are actually being paid directly from the
It
school,
really
Mhm.
will
right?
hurt the
The
schools.
teams within a conference, are going to set boundaries of how players can be paid.
At
Right.
a
that's
So
NIL
it's
won't
cool,
within
be
but
the,
that
like
it's
still
that.
has
within the
nothing to
conference.
do with that still has nothing to do with the Hall of Fame NIL deal for whatever player,
Yeah, players are
whatever
going to be able
player
to
Rawhide
earn.
want to
but
sign. That's their
But yeah, but
endorsement money.
players are gonna endorse.
You
But
can't
that's
cap
never
that.
gonna change. But that's never gonna change though, right? Like the NI, like if you want to sign with Nike, Nike gonna pay you. That's totally separate from the school. But most of these players don't be having these NIL deals. They be getting paid by collectives,
But
right?
okay,
But
okay. Listen, bro.
it's not going to change either. They're
The
not going to get rid of
collective,
the collectives. They're not going
right?
to
The
get rid of the
collective.
collectives. They've already
I,
tried to do that.
yeah, Jason. I think
Right.
the collectives are Nike. The
Mhm.
collectives is that they may not be
Right.
Nike, but it's the same thing.
There
It's
you go.
separate and apart.
There
The
you go.
problem is when people talk about kids getting paid, they always say the school's paying them, but technically the
Right,
schools ain't paying them.
right.
It's the donors, it's me, it's you. So the collectives are separate and apart. So whatever the agreement is for them to split revenue, they're going to split that. But that has absolutely zero
Oh, you're
to
saying
do.
the collectives are still gonna supplement that?
Oh yeah,
Right, right.
Okay,
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I
That's
was,
why I think
but
that
so to that
it's
point,
going to make it
I
harder.
get that, but I'm saying conferences, like teams within a conference, can have their own set of rules to where it'll be illegal if this happens, right? Because they've already set other conferences have already set rules saying you can't transfer within a conference. I think it's in the spring portal. I don't know if it's the SEC or Big Ten. Like in the spring transfer portal, you can't transfer to another SEC team come
I
spring
would,
portal time.
I ain't
So
I
even know
would
that.
vote
conference,
against that. If I think that all that's going
conferences
to
can
take
set their own rules,
they
right? If
can, but
conferences say, hey, we don't want collectives to be a part. We want to set a salary cap within our conference.
Mhm.
That can be done.
yeah, but
That can be done.
EA though the NCAA just made a rule about you couldn't come back for a third year in Division I football if you played 2 years of JUCO, and that shit got challenged in court and got overturned. So
Right.
right there, I mean,
Cool,
you
cool.
can
But
make your own, you can make
I'm
whatever
not talking
rule
about shit
you
that's
want.
gonna get challenged. I'm talking about shit that's gonna be collectively bargained. Like
No. I'm just saying,
players and teams
no,
gonna come
but
down to
all
the
it takes
table
is
and
one
make an agreement.
challenge, and then it goes to an actual
Well,
judge,
but
and the judge
the
says,
NCAA is not gonna be like the governing body, bro. It's gonna be It's gonna be the Big Ten and the SEC. It's gonna
I
be
was making an
these
example.
conference.
You can make a rule as the SEC, and the courts can say that that's an unlawful rule.
Cool, but I mean, if that's without the input of other parties that would be effective. If they agree, if you collectively agree and you sign an agreement, that it don't matter what the court say, you sign that agreement.
Hey,
Wait,
Rob,
hold on, wait. Go ahead, old man. Okay, barely, bro. You barely
Yeah,
going. What's
kind of
up?
you sound like you're in a tunnel, bro.
I'm driving. I just want to say something just to clear it up for the dude who's confused a little bit. Collectives are allowed under the NIL, so it's not going away, and the conferences can't prevent it because it's allowed within the NIL because it's the law now.
Right.
So what schools are trying to do is bring the collectives in house, and once they do that, then they'll have control over the money, and then they can regulate so-called quote unquote collectives. But
Right?
if somebody
Yeah, that was my
create,
point I'm trying to make. Yeah.
but what I'm going to continue though. But if somebody still wants to create their own collective outside of the school and pay players, they can still do that at the same time, and the schools can't prevent that under
And
the NIL.
Cool.
Right.
Yeah,
also,
I
they
get that.
probably
I get
won't
that
want
too.
to
It's
because
just
you
about
can
it's
you
just,
can
it's
you can
just about
just
having
funnel them
access
over
to it,
through
right?
that.
Because
Right.
collectives, the only reason collectives are sustained is by their donor base, right?
The
You can raise
shell
you can
shell
raise
company type
whatever.
shit, right?
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
yeah, I mean whatever, right? How they make the money, right?
You
So
know.
if they don't have access, if they don't have a relationship with the school, a collective, a random ass collective ain't gonna it's gonna be moot, right? They're gonna have to have some type of relationship with the school. And like old man just said, if they bring the collectives
Mm-mm.
within house, they're gonna be able
Mm-mm.
to control the
Oh,
flow.
Mm-mm.
court ruled
Mm-mm.
that to see that players can go directly to boosters. So what you're saying is old school. It ain't like that no more.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
And
Well, I
you
Well,
think
can
that's.
I think
whatever college you went to or you support, you can create your own collective if you have the money and pay players. The school can't do anything about it.
mm-mm.
Right.
right.
That's right.
I get that part, but
And don't
I
get it
was I
twisted
was
and
under
think
the
that the
assumption that
school
when
isn't
rev
gonna.
share came, it was gonna
Hold on. One at a
I
time,
could be
y'all.
wrong though.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Jason?
I was saying, don't get it twisted and think that the schools, even though they're bringing it in house, quote unquote, right? They're bringing it in house,
Yeah.
but you don't think that they still don't want uh, a couple of other collectives out there to, hey, we want to get this guy, and it's going to take another
Right.
two,
Exactly.
3
Exactly.
million. We
Bro,
need
I don't think they
Exactly.
want to pay these players though. They want to
No, I
keep
feel you on
salaries
that.
down.
I feel
well,
you on that.
they're
Like
not
they're not
harming
trying.
They
They
players,
don't
don't
want
want to
to, but
pay
they're
these
gonna have
players,
to.
bro.
Hmm.
but
They're
they
not
are
trying
going
to
to.
pay fucking 10 million for a high school unproven high school quarterback, bro.
That's right. But certain of them don't. But you can tell me Jimbo Fisher didn't? Jimbo Fisher just wanted to get whoever he could get in there. He didn't give a shit how much it cost the donor.
That's true.
And
That's
some of
true.
these coaches are just going to be that way. And if you really want a guy like they
But
really
Jason,
wanted Underwood at Michigan, Michigan didn't pay him that money. They went and got that from
exactly. But whose
Barstool
pockets?
Sports.
But
Oh,
whose pockets
but
gonna
they
be
got him
starting
for
to hurt?
10 mil. They did. Like
Them
didn't they?
coaches'
For
salaries,
Underwood.
ain't gonna be sky high no more. I'm telling you, when them coaches' salaries start to come down a little bit, and it's going to the players, a lot of the moves gonna be changed when it comes to these
Right.
coaches.
You're
About
I
assuming that the
mean,
money stays the same.
but the
I
Underwood
think
thing,
they'll still
EA,
get
didn't he
paid.
get like 10 mil for like 4 years?
It's like 12,
Now,
13 million
Or
apparently.
it's
no,
like
he got like 15. He got like
It's a
12.
lot.
It's like 12 for like 3 years, 3 years or
Hey,
something.
But that
so
can't
damn.
game, here's the game with the schools wanting to bring the collectives in the house. Because once they bring it in the house, they have control over it. And then they can just say it's not just for the athletes, it's for the athletic department. And with that money, you can disperse it however you want to players, coaches, staff. That's why they took the limitations on how many staff members you can have because they're getting a lot of money. And you're right. They don't want to pay the kids the money. They never have, but that they can't. That's done. So it don't matter if they want to or not. So the demand for how much you pay the athletes is just you competing against other schools. And whoever got the most is the best school wins. That's all it is.
which rolls it back around. I know we on collectives and all that, but to why I would like Coach Prime if he has that opportunity to take the Raiders job. Yeah, I think it's a headache.
You think
And,
it's just
and,
gonna be
and
too difficult to compete?
no, I think yeah, I think these coaches that's been doing it for a minute has been like, I'm tired of the buffoonery. Chip Kelly, he never wanted to recruit. When he was at Oregon, he didn't like it. And he was just like,
You just
him and
want to call plays.
UCLA came up with an agreement. I'll go be the OC, and he'll go be the OC. Look at Gus Miles on. He was like, man, forget this. And he at a school that, ain't really got no history. And he's like, hey, I'll go be the OC at Florida State. Bro, I just think I I think for Coach Prime, I think the bet
I think
if
he
he
needs to stay a few more
I
years,
think he
bro.
need to go get out and get something better.
I think
But
I think he's gonna be looking funny in the light if he make the move though, because he said on countless times over countless interviews that he never want to coach in the NFL. He
He
want
don't
to
want to
he
coach
but
grown
he
he
grown
already
want to coach
men.
pledged that
grown
out.
man.
I
Yeah,
don't think that going. I don't think it's gonna affect him, bro. All he got to say is God sent him to the NFL, and God led him to the NFL to be with his boys, and he'll be fine. Everybody will just go with it.
That's what he say.
nah.
But
He
God
can
led
say
him to
that.
college though.
He can say that, but people gonna be not gonna be buying a gimmick
Yeah, but he already said he willing to
because
go.
he but he said the way he's definitively answered the question about whether he wants to cut. He's been consistent with that answer. And then do a total 180 because his son's leaving. He gonna look funny in the light. That's all I'm saying.
Man, I don't
I'm
Oh,
know.
gonna
he
look
gonna look.
What?
Wait,
look
wait.
at him
Didn't he
funny in the
say?
light.
Didn't he
I'm
say
gonna
he
look at
wasn't
him
gonna leave
funny in the
Jackson
light.
State?
I'm gonna look at him funny.
Oh my
Boy,
God.
I
they
just
gonna
want
be.
to say I'm so
Ooh.
proud to be on a panel with a bunch of people that have made a decision and have never changed their mind. That's all I got to say. My goodness.
Hey,
No, no, Miss Lexus.
admit, Coach Prime running
Yeah,
game.
oh, damn,
Always
Isn't
Malik.
they the worst?
shit.
Miss Lexus, I'm not saying you can't change your mind, but it's like changing, almost kind of like changing a core belief. It's not just about changing his mind because anytime he's been asked that, like going back to Jackson, he said, "How am I coach an NFL player when they making this much money? I ain't gonna be able to tell them nothing." He
Because
said
they
that on
starting to make more money him now
countless
in
times.
college. That's why.
Yeah,
Because
but
they're making.
I'm just telling you, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it's logical. I'm just saying what the man said, right?
Yeah, I
But
got you. I
Uh,
got you. I got you.
that's
it's
not
been
even.
College
a
football right now is like the NFL
And the
with
fact that
no
he
guidelines
jumps up
and
and
no
leaves right
rules.
when his kids leave, come on, bro.
bro.
Hey, but
It's
that's not
Come on,
even the
what is
biggest critical statement that Coach Prime said. The biggest thing is that he said, "Why would I follow my sons? I'm
exactly? He
not
said that
my
too.
son's supposed to follow me." So he's doing 100% opposite of what he
Yeah, that's
said.
not changing your mind. That's like that's something
And
different.
I've never heard of nobody doing that before.
Man,
100%
Prime just be
opposite of what
talking
they said.
sometimes.
I mean, that's
Hold
just
on, we've seen it
that's a
before,
first.
but we've seen it before, and we criticize it when it happens.
Prime
Yeah,
just
he
be
did it
running his mouth
before. He's
wait a
so
sometimes,
minute.
man.
I
consistent.
think Prime just be bro. Exactly, and Prime just be talking, bro. Like he like to hear himself talk, bro. I don't believe
Thank
shit that
you,
come out of Buddy
Truckin'.
mouth.
Thank you, Trent.
Wait, what did
Listen,
what did
let me
Trucker
tell you
say?
something. Clearly, you guys are not married. I am. My husband, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That child, God bless his soul. I'm telling you the truth. Sometimes he coming at, especially when he talking sports. He like you all. That's why I like to listen to other people besides him. Don't nobody know the answer but him when it comes to talking football. Don't nobody have the answer but him. And then when he changed his mind about the answer, then it's a new answer. So I look
Thing
at
is,
a
you
coach
I think that's
prime.
a very good point.
Listen, I look at a coach prime like I do a whole lot of other people. I eat the fish and throw out the bone. Y'all think I'm just gonna believe every single thing that child say, and then he ain't gonna say nothing. Y'all just
I
take
mean,
everything. Oh, he said that.
you gotta take it for what it's
Half of the
worth.
time I laugh off and
So
keep moving
his
on.
word
They
don't
be
mean
like,
nothing, then, Miss Lexus.
No,
because
his
I
word
Prime,
treat
don't
him
mean
like I
nothing.
do most men.
man,
With
Prime
all
just
the due
trying to get
respect to all
shallow
you
draft,
wonderful men.
man.
Listen,
He
and
said
I'm sure
I ain't
you
gonna
do
follow
us
my
ladies
sons.
the
I ain't no
same
baby daddy.
way.
I'm a
We ain't
father.
taking everything we say with a grain of
I'm
salt.
gonna feel some type of way now. I'm gonna feel some type of
I
way.
agree. Oh my bad. Yeah, hold on, hold on. I agree
Oh,
with Lexus.
okay.
I agree with Lexus. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish what you
I
saying.
was just gonna. I will feel some type of way if he dip off and he try to orchestrate some.
Oh my God.
I'm
Wait
gonna
a
feel
minute.
a type
Wait
of
a minute.
way.
Wait a minute. Wait a
I'm gonna
minute.
feel a type of way.
I want to wait. Wait. Hold on. Y'all kind of y'all got on me for being mad at him for leaving Jackson State, but y'all gonna if he leave Colorado, y'all gonna be mad for what? This is what he does. He
I'm
doesn't
not
care
gonna be
about.
mad if he leave nowhere because that man has
I
a
mean, I'm not.
God-given right to do whatever he want to
I'm
do
not.
because he grown and he can. So I'm not gonna be
I'm
upset with
trying to find
whatever
a.
he
I'm
do. The
trying to find the
question
right
was,
words.
would I support it? When Raw had asked the question, I'm just answering the
Yeah, I support it
question
too.
that I would
But
be happy and support it. However, we don't know if he gonna ever get to Vegas. We don't know. We
yeah,
just
we
I'm
don't know
trying to
that.
answering the
find a. It's
question
not
that was
that.
asked.
Yeah, we
I'm not
don't
gonna like.
know.
I'm still gonna root for the man. Like I'm still gonna support him, but I'm just gonna be like, damn, like nigga, like we can't. But Danny, you really said you wasn't gonna do it, and you did exactly opposite what you said, bro. Like I don't know.
Oh,
People
come on.
change
Hey,
their mind
Jason.
all the
Man,
time.
Buddy be
He
lying, bro.
changed him
Would
in mind, bro.
anybody?
That
Let me
nigga,
ask you guys
he
this.
came up
You
and
Let me
got
just
ask
said
you
kids?
like,
guys this
Do
question.
you got
Let me ask
kids,
you
EA?
guys this question. Would
yeah,
anybody have ever figured in your entire life
but he ain't no
that Bill
kid, bro.
Belichick would be coaching the University of North Carolina?
Mm,
No, nobody thought that.
I
mm-mm.
I mean,
mean,
did Bill
Man,
Belichick
that's
ever
because the
I
come out and say
NFL
mean,
he was never
cutthroat.
gonna coach college?
Hold up.
And he's
Man,
not.
He still made he still could pull out of that.
I
He
think
don't
he's about to pull out of there. It sounds like.
Yeah,
they
man.
tried to
well,
He
hire
about to
Bill
pull out.
Belichick for the Raiders.
Yeah, he got a clause in his contract that he can pull out of college.
possibly could be
Bro,
leveraging that to get his son a head coaching job down there. You know, his son coached the defense right now at Washington,
Yeah,
so
well,
he
you
Washington.
know,
possibly
that was the rumor
leveraging
from the
that.
beginning that he really didn't want to do it. He wanted to get his son there. And I don't know if he had to do all that to get his son there. He Bill Belichick. Well, I don't know why he couldn't make a
yeah,
phone
he could
call.
have picked the phone up. He could have
Right,
picked the
right,
phone.
right, right,
He could have picked the
right.
phone
I
up.
mean, I'm just
But hey,
Man, we
Jason, what you
talking
think
about the
about the?
I don't want
What
him.
you
I
think?
don't
Hey,
want him to
Jason, what you think
leave.
about the
I don't
state
want
of
him to leave. That's all I'm saying.
college coaching in football?
I don't
What do I
I
think
don't
about
want
the
him to
state
leave.
of it?
Yeah, you know
Um,
these coaches
I,
leaving and all that.
I
what
don't
I
think it's
say,
a whole lot
Rawhide, is
different.
I think sometimes we get to the point where football itself, me being a football fan, I'm a weird girl that loves myself some football. So me being a football fan, I'm
Weird
just
about
missing
that.
the days of old where coaches and players alike would just eat, sleep, and drink football. Okay, and they were committed and dedicated. They want to do. We know that time is gone by the wayside, and of course, money will always play a part in that time being gone with the transfer portal and with you now playing players. Now, I'm not saying these college players shouldn't deserve to be compensated for what they do because they bring a whole lot of money to these colleges. So I'm not denying that. I think it was Jason that was saying it should be a little bit better. Or whoever was saying it, EA or whoever was saying it should be better structure to how it happens, a little bit more discipline to it. Because right now it's just crazy. Everybody can just do what they want to do,
Well, I
and
think that the
whoever
reason that
writes
that
the biggest
happened,
check,
though,
you can fly with wings. So
yeah.
I think we need to be a little bit more structured to it because at the end of the day, the difference is for this and NFL, these kids got to go to school. They got to learn their lesson. But if you give me $1 million check, I mean, I can never English and math and science and none of that stuff, or get my PhD or whatever I came for, my bachelor's. So you got to
Man, these
consider
players
that
ain't
when you're
going no
talking
further.
college as opposed to pro. That element, of course, is not in pro. They grown and gone. So I think because of that, if nothing else, they got to get a little bit more, at least structure to it to say, goodness, guys, you got to commit one day, and stay somewhere and sit your behind down and every time somebody says something to you, step on your toe, move your freaking foot. Don't just jump in the portal, you know.
Yeah.
So and to his point about some of the players are not going on their own, they getting asked to leave and things of that nature. I get it. I'm not talking about them. But I'm talking about some people just getting mad and saying, I'm going to the portal. And some of y'all going to get stuck in the portal. You're going to be in the portal 4 years from now
A lot of
because
hmm
players,
We got
everybody
free
ain't going
will
to be
right
able to
there,
come
though,
out with
right?
roses, if you will.
players getting
So,
pushed out too now.
I
Yeah,
agree. I
players
agree,
is getting
Lex.
pushed
Great
out.
take.
Yeah,
Great
I
take.
agree with that too.
Yeah.
Great
All right,
take.
go ahead, Jason. What you think about it?
Well, what I was here's the thing. I don't think it's changed a whole lot for coaches. I think they do whatever the hell they want. They got buyouts
yes.
and all that other stuff, and they leave whenever they feel like it. It doesn't matter how many promises they made to kids and all that other stuff. What I would say when it comes to players in the portal, yeah, there's a lot of them getting asked to leave. The other part would be that not one of these athletes has made a single rule. Not one. They haven't come up with not one single one of these rules that is dictating what they can and can't do and the money they can and can't get. So if we're going to put the blame on somebody, you shouldn't put it on players ever. Because now, do I think that some of them are being given bad advice? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think but that starts at home. You know what I mean? And that's a matter of sometimes you don't have the right people giving you advice. And I think that goes for everybody. I've got my dad was good about that. Some people don't even have a father in the house that has anything to do with it. And they're not looking out for the right things. Some of the guys the coaches or player parents that I know right now, they're heavily involved, and they didn't want to make it just about money where they were going. They sent the kids to the places they felt like they were going to get the best education, the best football education, and plus that they were going to teach them to be a man. But some of them, Bear Alexander, for example. I want to know who the hell is telling that kid what to do.
Yeah,
That makes
yeah.
sense to me. You know what I
He
mean?
chasing that money.
He's chasing that money, and it's little stuff like. But we're talking about he could have been coaching, and I mean I hate USC because of Lincoln Riley, but I would just say that they got Coach Henderson there from the Rams that coached Aaron Donald, and you're not a first stringer, so you're gonna split from there. Your best opportunity to get really good was to stay right there where he was, and they were paying him well. He had a place on the beach, and it wasn't enough. Somebody was in his ear. So, what do I think about
Like,
it?
didn't he commit to Oregon?
I don't know. I hadn't heard that. I could. That wouldn't surprise me either, though.
I know Oregon was one of his top threes. It was Oregon, Ole Miss, and somebody else.
Well, when you're that big, you're going to have opportunities still, right?
Yeah.
You're going to still have opportunities. I'm just saying.
He's still a good player, bro. I'm not gonna say he ain't no good player. He had over 80 tackles at the D.
I'm not
at the
saying
D
he's
tackle
not a good
position.
player either, Ant. I was just saying I think that you're messing with your opportunity. You were at Georgia, and then you were with Coach Henderson.
Yeah.
Are you going to get much better coaching somewhere else, or you're not learning to adapt and overcome some things and grow up a little bit?
No,
That's the point. Because to me, I think that a lot of these kids, and again, I'm not blaming it on the kids. I'm not. The rules that are in place because of adults that are greedy. We start talking about greed and stuff like that. I'm not pointing that at kids. I'm not. I think that the greed starts at the university level and at the NCAA level even, and then it trickles on down to the rest of it. I covered college sports for a long time, and I've seen shadiness at a lot of levels. And rarely is it about the athlete. Rarely is it about the athlete. I mean, there's bad apples in everything, but in the end, they've been exploiting athletes in college forever, and getting rich doing it. And we still, as a whole, get pissed off at players for they leaving the portal to off of our football team and this and that, and we're pissed off at them and not the guys that that made it able to be done, if that makes sense.
Right.
So Jason, for you covering it so long, I guess my question is, was there some committee, somebody that said, listen, these players do deserve some type of compensation. Let's be clear, because to your point, they are the big reason why these colleges and universities are making so much money, especially when they have these elite schools. But there needs to be some kind of plan or structure or something in place.
Sure.
How it's going to happen. So
see, that's the NCAA's issue right there.
Yeah,
that's
just like Carson Beck. They gave Carson Beck $4 million.
So what happened there? Huh?
That they just gave Carson Beck $4 million to go to Miami, and he sucked.
Yeah, but I mean, that there's no accounting for hey, a lot of times you might do better at certain places. Not that I think that place is Miami, because they don't exactly develop very well there. But no, I think the question that you asked, Lexus, what happened to cause this? Well,
yeah, kind of was there something put in place or not? It looks like it's a little messy. Is my point.
It's messy.
Looking in.
Yeah, it's messy. What happened is the NCAA is the most corrupt organization in the world. That's the biggest thing I would say. When the Ed O'Bannon lawsuit that started, like, I think it's 12 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was longer than that. I thought it was about 20-some years ago. That went 20-some years ago.
It was 12 years ago, I want to say, man. Something.
I wonder
like
when
that.
he filed it. It had a minute. It's been a while though.
It's been a minute, but they kept putting it off, right? Well, what ended up happening was that, and I'm not exactly sure why they were up there, but they were up to speak to the Supreme Court, the NCAA, about something that they were trying to push through, and they're wanting to make sure it was okay. But one of the justices said he didn't even talk about that. He said, all I'm going to tell y'all is if you don't get your, what did he call it? Basically your employee, the way that you handle your employees, if you don't get that house in order like that, I'm going to throw the book at you for the way that you do things. So what they did was they just, without any structure at all whatsoever, as you are alluding to, they just threw NIL at it and said, go. And they tried to make little rules to go along with it to make people like Nick Saban happy or whatever, that you You can't use it as an enticement. That was a joke. Things like that. But they essentially they tried to allow NIL, which is money from boosters, to encompass everything that you would need to pay these college athletes, knowing that all of that was going to do was bring on more corruption. So in the end, that's why you've seen all these other little lawsuits. So every time they try to keep you from doing something, they had that kid the receiver that went to Carolina last year, and they kept him out forever. Remember, they didn't, because he had moved back to be closer to his grandmother or something like that, and they didn't want to let him be eligible. And then all of a sudden they decided it was okay. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's just because of the way they want to do things. It has nothing to do with what should be. But every state's got different laws about the NIL. Every conference could have different rules, quote unquote, about the NIL. All of that stuff really, in the end, they did what they do and they passed the buck is what they really did. And now we all are pissed off at players all the time because they didn't put anything into place. And had they put something into place and had all that time that lawsuit was going on, Raw, if that lawsuit was going on 10, 12 years, whatever it was, you're going to tell me that you couldn't have figured out the vehicle and the way that you could have, put parameters around this thing and started paying these guys and making sure that you didn't have just a free-for-all from year after year after year. And make no mistake, coaches tampering and everything. Mm-hmm. They knew what they were doing.
Well, I will say this part. Epic failed on trying to please Nick Saban. He can't stand it. Matter of fact, that's probably why he retired. Yeah. He didn't like
stick his finger in the dam. That's all that was.
Yeah. But anyway, okay. Messy probably wasn't a bad word out there. Oh, okay.
Messy was a great word.
See, I will admit, I don't, as far as NIL goes, I don't personally see a problem with it. I think it's true capitalism at its finest. I'm good with it. I have zero problems with NIL.
Agreed.
And honestly,
I got a question with the NIL thing, Raw. So if a player signed a contract, so I be seeing like some people be like, he just signed the new deal to stay another year or something like that. So if they leave and go on the portal, they like that's pretty much like terminated, right? Like they contract they sign.
I have no idea about.
See, I be wondering, like,
I didn't even know they could sign.
Can I chime in on that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I feel like I be one that get mad at the players, right? Hall of Fame, Jason, right? Because, and it's not that I'm mad at them. The players that go into the portal that got somewhere to go, I like that because they know where they're going. They know why they want to go. For instance, like Nikhil Hill-Green, there wasn't a program at Colorado. He went to Alabama for that program, and he went right away. He had somewhere to go. There's players that got somewhere to go. But there's 7,000 players that's in the portal. So there are 5,000 players that have nowhere to go at all. They're just in the portal, and only 1% of those guys is even getting picked out of the portal. See, that's the thing I don't like about it. Why go to the portal and leave your school with development and then don't get picked up? So that's where I get at sometimes with that. I just wanted to chime in.
So you like the tampering?
What?
So you like the tampering? So that's the only way you know where you're going. You got to be tampered with.
I'm not saying. Well, I guess.
I mean, you can put out feelers. I guess
you can. Tampering. What you mean put out feelers? That's tampering.
No. It's tampering. Tampering's not tampering anymore, man.
I'm not saying that I like tampering. I didn't say that.
I'm not saying hey, if everybody else gonna do it, yeah, we gonna do it too. But
if you got somewhere to go, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You got somewhere to
go. Let me just finish my original thought. So I don't have a problem in it. Nor do I think I don't believe Nick Saban has a problem with NIL. Nick Saban has something to do. I think his problem is the transfer portal, and I think that's the problem we got. And I think a lot of times when we have these discussions, we like to intertwine transfer portal and NIL because you don't have. They're not the same. You don't. One has nothing to do with the other. What we tend to do, we try to blame NIL for movement, but irregardless, whether if they couldn't move, it wouldn't matter. You still could get the NIL. So my deal.
No, agreed. No,
Wait, hold on,
Rawhide.
but
I do agree with you. I think let me take that back and say Nick Saban, the transfer portal, he hated. He
but
did
Yeah.
mention some negative things that what he didn't like too much about the
The
NIL, in that he
NIL,
just
yeah.
wanted structure. I don't think he didn't want
mm,
the players to be paid. I don't think that. He just wanted a little bit more structure around it. But his biggest hate was the transfer portal. So you're correct there.
yeah, but that's
Yeah,
the
it
Yeah.
only
was
So, but
but
development.
hold
but
He
on,
hold
was
Rob,
on,
like,
but hold on. Let's
but
think
that's
about
the
it
only
for a second.
leverage that a player got, right? Because
no,
if
but
you
No,
ain't
he
but
gonna
hold
leave,
on, but
right?
Facts.
You ain't gonna
but hold
leave,
on.
then okay, I don't gotta pay you.
But hold on. Let's think about it for a second. Right, players, I get it, free to move. Cool. Coaches, school, all right, a little bit more, but a little worse. So this is what you need the tools to do your job. And part of and I besides popular belief, recruiting and in-home visits and the time you spend on that matters. You court a guy for since eighth grade. Convince him. Come on your team. Get him for a year. And you did everything you paid. You done it all. You ain't did wrong by him. It's just a guy that's better than him. And you telling me I gotta re-recruit you at the end of the season? I would have a serious problem with that. That's like your wife. Y'all married, and then all of a sudden she say, "Well, every anniversary, if you don't come correct, or him, she go, or he say every anniversary you don't
Hey,
come
Raw,
correct."
isn't it like that anyway with your
We
wife?
got
Come
well,
on,
you probably right. You
But
probably right. But I'm just
but
saying
hold on,
that
Rob. Let me play
you got to
devil's
do something
advocate.
different.
Let me play
Rawhide,
devil's
I
advocate
got to
real
stop doing that. I got to stop doing that every anniversary.
quick.
I mean, if you
I'm just
using it to,
kidding. I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
I'm just
But
saying.
Rob, let me play devil's advocate. What about coaches though? Because coaches always looking to level up, right?
Okay, the
You
difference
telling
between a
me
coach.
hold on, let me flip
Okay,
it on you. You
okay,
telling
cool.
me I go into a kid's living room, talk to his mom, oh, we're gonna love your son. We gonna turn your boy from a turn your son from a boy to a man. We're gonna develop him, we gonna turn him into a pro. And then the coach dip out when he see a better offer,
finally,
better
I agree with
job.
something EA says. There we go. Tell him.
What if I flip it on you like that, Rob?
Okay, cool.
Like,
I can handle. I can handle that though. I can handle that because I don't listen. I don't care what we think it is, and that's right. Because ultimately, and if you got a kid, to me as a parent, you need don't sell your child dreams. Tell them the facts. So ultimately, you're not committing to the coach. You're committing to the university. I get it, bro. And before y'all jump on my neck like I don't understand, bro, I perfectly understand. He's the dude to sell it. That's what they want to be. But that's want to. But ultimately, though, black and white is you committed. Ain't nowhere on that whatever that you signed to go play at this school is the head coach. So
yeah,
you
but
committing to the
you
university.
committed under false pretenses though, because they expect
No, it's
you,
not on the
that
false
coach to
pretense.
coach
Ain't no
them.
lie. There is absolutely zero lies on that piece of paper they signed. Because if we were talking about anything else, if we were talking about deals or we were talking about anything else in life, and I didn't have it in writing, y'all, and I got done in, y'all would say, "Bro, you should have had it in writing." That's what you would have told me. So we can't take that away all of a sudden like that don't matter. And let me repeat for the fourth time. I get it, bro. I know they commit to the coach. I totally understand
Of
that.
course they commit to
But
the
bro,
of course.
sometimes perfect cannot be the enemy of good.
Yeah.
It just can't. Sometimes you
Well, that's
just take
where
a
it goes
L.
back to like who is the person in your corner in your ear? Who is it?
Right.
Who's giving you advice, Raw?
But Rob, would
Exactly.
you rather have it to where there was no freedom of movement, or have it to where like it's now, like
Well,
Wild Wild
first off,
West?
okay, cool. First off, I never even had a stance. I said I think that's what truly the problem is.
Okay, okay.
Do I do okay?
You
As
think so you think it's more of a problem now than before?
I think, well, absolutely. When they open the floodgates, yeah. I mean, it has become
I
more
don't know,
lenient
man.
every year.
These kids
Every
is
year it has become more lenient. They opened it up. You couldn't
True.
transfer after year. They got rid of that. You couldn't transfer. You
You
couldn't
didn't
get
used to be
two.
able to
They got rid
transfer
of that.
in the conference. You couldn't
Right,
transfer SEC to SEC at all.
right,
Period.
right, bro. They
yeah.
just last year they got rid of transferring twice. That just last year.
Right,
So
exactly. Yeah.
Except
bro,
that
so
that changed in about a month and a half too. They can change and do it as many
Yeah.
times as they
I
want.
don't
Yeah.
know.
you're
I see what you're saying, but I think I think the Wild Wild West is better than no movement at all. Right, and
As
obviously
a
there's gradations. I mean, like they can set boundaries and stuff,
well, I
but
don't think. But see, I don't think that's better, bro. Let me tell you
I
why
don't
I
know
don't
if
think
it's
it's better.
better. I think that if
I
you,
think it's more fair
I,
for sure for the
as
players.
far as fair to the kids, but what you can't account for, I think, is what, and maybe I'm wrong. What I think you're getting at, what you can't account for is getting good advice and doing the right thing.
True,
You know,
yeah.
Right.
you were just saying, who was it that was just saying they had a problem, or because of the fact that you got 5,000 dudes that are trucking was just saying it. You got 5,000 guys in the portal. They ain't never going to get out. You know,
Ain't better for them.
that's a grown up decision you made,
Yeah,
and now you have to live with that decision.
you got to live,
Yeah, and so I mean, look, I know that we want what's fair and all the time. Fair almost never happens. You might as well
That's
just figure
fair.
out that fairness ain't got shit to do with life.
Yeah, that's where you judge pigs and cows, bro.
We want our cake and eat it too, though. Well, we be wanting them to hit the
I
portal.
get
It's
that.
cool. Wild Wild West, cool. Until it
Hey, but
happened
if
to
you in
our
that
team.
portal,
When it
you
happened
better
to our team, we be like, oh no, that shit ain't no.
when you hit that
I'm
portal,
just
you better know good and damn well you like that. Hey, that's why I'm for the tampering, right? Because that's the only way a player is guaranteed to know his next spot because he was tampered with, right? So
Tampering's
I'm
not a
cool
thing,
with that.
man. I think I'm with you, man. I think that they have agents and stuff now. There's ways to get around all that stuff. And even if they didn't, all you got to do is get one of your players that knows them to make the phone call and say,
Exactly. I mean, no, I agree though. I'm with you on
yeah.
that.
And
right?
I think that you better be doing that if you're
Exactly,
signing
right?
up to
Because
leave.
players
You
hopping
better
in
be.
that portal blindly, bro. Like, unless you like
Hey.
a top guy, you might be left without a chair at the end of the song.
But yeah, did you hear the little double standard you just had then? Did you hear your
What
double
double
standard?
standard?
Hey, if you choose going portal, what now? Say it again.
You gotta know what comes with that. You might be left without a chair. Yeah, I just said that.
Hey, if you're a high school dude and you sign that, and you following the head coach, don't that apply the same?
Exactly, but that kid should be able to leave too. That's my point.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just
You
using
can't have the kid
your
stuck.
reference.
No,
No,
I
I'm just
get it.
simply using your reference
But
of.
my whole argument was that kid, if the coach leave, I got to be able to leave too. I can't be stuck because the coach leaves.
But you can't though. But what I'm saying is, if you couldn't, then you should have that same type of attitude. It is what it is.
You could leave when the coach leave before though.
No,
Right
once
now,
upon a time you couldn't.
yeah,
There
once
was a
upon a
time you
time you
couldn't.
I
couldn't.
mean, back in the day, but before the NIL, you still could.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
made
they
it so
had
you
switched
could.
it up. Yeah, they had switched it up, but before you
But
couldn't.
bro, I ain't even saying they should have to stay. I'm just telling you, I think that's the biggest problem. If they can clean it up. But I would say this: as a player, they need freedom of movement. As a leader, I would restrict. Let me tell you why. Because I'm trying to save the 80, not the 20. So I'm trying to save the 5K. So I'd restrict it, but the caveat would be you can't cut them either.
No, I'm with that. No,
You see
yeah,
what I'm
you
saying?
can't cut it. You can't
So
cut a scholarship
I'll
either. Yeah, I'm with
restrict
that.
them.
Yeah.
You can't cut them either. Hey,
That's
fine. Did
where
I
it
say
starts getting squirmy, though, right there.
right?
Right there, what you just talked
Yeah,
about. That's where it gets squirmy.
right.
Because you don't hear them talking about this stuff. They know damn good and well at those universities that they better not say shit like that. And they don't ever talk about cutting anyone. They don't ever tell you whenever they told somebody to go get in the portal. We'll help you go wherever you want to, wherever we can get you to. We'll find you.
That meal card stopped working all of a sudden.
They don't tell you all that stuff. But now, when collective bargaining shows up and they become, and this is the exact reason why the NCAA, all of these programs still do not want to call players employees.
I don't blame them.
They don't want to, because
I
if
don't
they
blame them.
do, then now all of a sudden you are definitely falling under different rules. And
Yeah.
so you have to do things a certain way. And they don't want to do that because they're going to continue. Look, it's a results business. And if the player that was supposedly a 5-star all of a sudden isn't playing like a 5-star, and you got to keep him instead of dumping his ass, nothing good comes of that.
Right.
Yeah.
Not for the coaches anyway. You know
We
what I mean?
talking about this multi-billion-dollar business. These schools is making $100 million a year.
More than that too. Yeah, absolutely.
More than that. Yeah. Yep.
Notre Dame just got 20 mil just for making the championship game.
Right. That's what I was saying. Like, and that's all theirs. They keep everything. Everything.
Wait, that's how they get paid out from the who paying that out? The TV deal?
No,
Well, that's just for
television deal.
Yeah, that's
The
dope.
Yeah,
television
yeah.
deal. Okay,
They get
okay.
10 million a year anyway for their
And then they get the
for
20 mil.
playoff.
That's like a bonus. That is, whew.
Yeah, it added another 10 to it.
And they keep
Mm.
everything. So you know what they roster gonna look like.
Hey, what about? Hey,
The
Law, what's
other, the
up,
other.
bro? Oh,
Oh,
my
go ahead.
bad, Jimmy. Go ahead.
I was saying, y'all forgetting the other reason why they don't want to do employees because they also have to pay taxes on that money. The school has to directly pay them, and also labor laws vary from state to state. So if
That's right.
they ended up,
Yeah,
they end up
true.
doing, if they end up doing employees, the whole thing will be tipped on his head because that revenue ain't at all on all facilities ain't gonna be the same.
That's why they got all
So
those lobbyists up there trying to get special protections for
Yeah,
them and all
JP,
that
now
kind of
you
stuff.
talking, bro. Them facilities ain't gonna be top of the line no more. Them coaches' salaries ain't gonna be top of the line no more.
nope.
That money gonna come from somebody's
The
pocket.
but the money keeps going up. That's the thing is that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
keep getting more because more people keep watching.
You know
So
what? That's when you get a Bank of America to sponsor your gym. Bank of America gym at Michigan University. You know what I'm saying? That's when you get a Planet Fitness to
Yeah,
sponsor
we about to see
your
them.
equipment. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even know
You
That's
know,
Michigan had
already
all that
built
money.
in through
They about to
alumni
be
though.
sponsoring them jerseys. They about to have the logos on the jerseys.
you know what I
when
What'd
mean?
you say? What'd
do
you
that
say,
again?
Law?
Yeah.
What'd you
I'm saying
say?
I said that's already built in through alumni basis though. So
Okay.
the alumni gonna fund it off the dribble anyway because they gonna want first deals at naming rights and things of that nature just for namesake. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
And it being
Yeah.
a part of the university. But I say this, right? I was listening and I remember back when this first came, like when it first came up about NIL, you was like leave it how it is, like the Wild Wild West. I remember you saying that,
Yeah,
and
100%.
I kind
100%.
of agree because I think Jason Watkins said I think that was you. You said the players ain't made no contracts. The players ain't made no deals. They haven't
No
been
rule.
advocating for these rules and these caveats. So it is what
Okay.
it is. You see what I'm saying? So the people they know how to split that money and bust it up because they're gonna do it the way they want to do it anyway. So they obviously it's not hurting them enough to um to rein it in. Now they know they're gonna have to deal with a few issues, but then the problems remain is if we call them employees, that's a whole nother tax and things of that nature itself, because then they create unions at best. So
Right.
now that's putting a lot more restrictions on the money at the top anyway, and that's what nobody really want. They
And
don't
you
want the
know
Facts.
another
restrictions
thing,
because
you make a good point. You make a good point because you start talking about this wanting to do all that kind of stuff. They don't want to do all that because they certainly don't, because then there's more taxes open up. There's all kinds of things. But the other part is, oh man, what was I just had in my head too? And I lost it. I lost my thought right there.
Do they
No,
gotta pay like dams and shit for that? You know what I mean? They gotta go into that type of deal and all of that. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
also you got to also remember that money right now. You can write that off. You ain't gonna be able to write that off of their employees.
Mm.
right. No, yeah, they're
and
gonna
then
get their money
Yeah,
the
you
too.
got
money
a
the
point
players make,
there.
the
What'd
money
you
that
say?
the players make, that's not coming from the university.
No, it's
Right.
coming from the companies. Now you if
Right.
they're employees, you gotta pay. Either the company gonna employ them, but you can't do it with a student. I mean, I don't know how that'll work in certain
And
states.
then in that case, and then you got to think about it. We're not even just talking about the big sports, because most schools like the Ohio States, the Bama's, the football teams is what carry the whole the athletic department for all
Mm-hmm.
sports. So if you get into
Yeah.
that, you gotta bust it up evenly. Like now, I got to be even more fair.
Yeah, for Title IX to comply with
Oh no, I
Title
remember
IX.
what I was talking about. You know how a lot of times it makes you feel like you're like right now you're talking about that. They don't want it a certain way, but they don't say anything about it, right? It's the same thing I'd say about the whole Diego Pavia thing. He's over there going to court about it, and they're going to court. He was suing the NCAA over that rule. But the truth is they were glad they lost it, because that means they get to keep these kids around a little longer and make more money on them. And they knew that they did. So while they were in court, they weren't going to appeal it. They weren't going to appeal it. They did, but it's how it looks, not how it really is. It's how does it come off to the rest of the world that the NCAA is not for that. That's not true at all. In fact,
Right.
it only took about a week and a half before they made it to where you get an extra year in college now. No red shirt involved in it. You just get an extra year now. It's 5 years instead of 4.
Mm.
Oh, they did that now?
Wait,
Mm.
that's an official? I thought that was just a proposal.
So you get
Yeah, I thought
five
that was
years
a
instead of
proposal. I
4,
ain't know that
and
was
none of your
official.
JUCO years count.
Right.
Was that only for
And
JUCO or is that just for everybody?
Mine is.
I
I
always
think
tell y'all.
the reason the JUCO thing would I don't even know how they were doing it before, but I don't know if JUCO every single JUCO is under NCAA rule. So
None of
it'd
them
be
are.
kind
They're
of
under the
yeah,
NJCAA.
NJC yeah. So what happens is if you count eligibility for that, how is it even possible for you to go to the NCAA like look he ain't got no more years yet when you're not under the same law?
Well, but it was an agreement that they had between them over something. I don't get me lying to you and telling you I know what that is, but they had an agreement between the two because in order it had something to do with they had to go by that rule or whatever in order for their credits to transfer to these colleges or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, but isn't that the same with Carson Beck? Cause isn't he finna be a 5th-year senior
Yeah, he a grad
going into
transfer, right?
Miami?
Yeah.
And he ain't do no red shirt, did he?
See, and I don't even know that
Yeah,
that's
but
completely
he was
done.
probably around for that COVID year though.
Yeah,
Well,
and
he been in
they're
what we in
getting around it
25?
anyway. I'm saying it could end up turning out that you get as many damn years as you want, for all I know. But I know for sure 5 years is the deal now, for
Yeah, cause I
sure.
know he on his 5th year now. But I don't know if he red
Right. But
shirted though.
I
Cam
always
Ward's
said
on his
even
9th
before
year,
all
man.
this
Shit,
landed,
or not Cam Ward, but Cam Rising.
They got
Cam
What'd
that
you say,
McCoy.
kid
Law?
in
Cam McCoy.
that
Wait, he
that
coming back? I thought he was done.
Now
no
I always said
Come back.
this college is smoke and mirrors, bro. It's not really what people think it is. Like once you get in it, you be like, man, this shit I ain't never think it would be like this. You know what I'm saying? So
What
like
you mean?
it's
What you mean
like
by
so
that?
what you like okay, like as a fan, most times like you watch the pageantry and you grow up thinking it's one way. You know what I mean? But once you get behind the scenes of it and you get in those locker rooms and those meeting rooms and you the guy that's on the camera, like the way okay, let's just say we speaking for Colorado fans. Now they could present it to you one way on well off. You see what I'm saying? But once that camera go off and you in the meeting rooms and you in the film room and the stuff that they don't show you, it's totally different than what you think it is. And
You
then
better believe it.
the reason the players like certain players don't play like okay for example Marion Miller, everybody at home feel like he a threat. They feel like he should be on the field, but you'll never really understand what go on or why he might not be on the field. You see what I'm saying? And so a
No,
lot of
I get that.
times I say you never seen some of the best players play this game, bro. You know what I mean? Like even then it get political because you might have a guy that's basically just a do right guy. I remember I was at when I was in college, the coach asked like he asked the team, or it was like a guest speaker or something. They was like, how many people want to go to the league? And like the amount of people that you would have seen raise your hand was surprisingly low. You know what I mean? But you playing on a D1 college football team, so that might not even be somebody's aspiration. So if I'm playing with some guy that knows his future is in accounting or sales, and my aspiration is to go to the league, but this is the guy that's on the field, and I'm the guy that really want this. The smoke and mirrors become because it's like he don't even really want it, but he's a do right guy. He may have his understanding on how to play the game a little better than this particular guy. So you will see a different type of. So you will see a Marion Miller get his opportunity where he only had 8 catches all season, but he get in the game one game and had go for 8 catches, 145, and you be like the next game he still don't play. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You be like what the fuck is that?
Hey,
But it's
it's
smoke and
transfer
mirrors,
for.
bro.
That's what I portal, and that's why the portal's here.
It's smoke and mirrors, and that's just for example. Like that's just an example everybody can, you know what I mean, relate.
Yeah.
Right.
I hope my boy take
So
off of that
imagine
shit,
what's
Yeah,
man.
going with
yeah, Law Dog, say it again. You never see the best players play. That's
yeah,
my
you know,
story.
yeah.
Oh my God.
You
Now,
want
old
them?
man,
Oh my God,
we gonna
bro.
take
That's
some
my
of this stuff
story.
out, though, man.
Bro.
Hey, but
If
Oh
I
only
want to
this
man.
and
backtrack to
only
what
that, huh?
Rob was saying. You said what you said about the university. The players are signing the scholarship to the coach or university. What was your point on that?
I said you commit to the university. That's what I said.
But that's a false statement
Oh my God. Okay, what's false about it?
He
because the
wanna fight.
coach can say
Yeah, he
who
want to
can
fight.
stay and who goes. The coach and AD say who the you know my story, right? And I told you about going to the university
It
board and
always
all that
goes
stuff.
back to you and your story,
No,
bro.
but understand this, everybody that's listening. You're not signing to the university as an athlete. You're signing to
Oh
the
shit.
athletic department. and whoever's in charge of the athletic department at that time can say if you stay or go. It's not the university. The athletic scholarships are not treated the same as any other scholarship at the university, and that's fact.
I wasn't even talking about that though.
I
Well, I
thought he
just
was
want to make it
saying.
clear because I was confused on what your point was.
No,
We
he
were
was
talking about.
saying. Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
man. Go
Rawhide,
ahead.
let
Go ahead.
old man tell his story in peace, bro. Don't do that, bro. We got guests, bro. Come on, Raw.
Yeah,
Call
but
him out,
they
bro.
get it. You don't have to explain what you're saying, but I just wanted to make it clear for everybody that's listening. You and any athletes that are thinking they sign into a university, you're not signing to a university.
Don't
Hey,
make
oh
him
man,
cry, Raw.
you go find that man that did you like that. I got you, bro. Just call me. We got it. Golly, we gotta
bro.
get this over with. I need you to feel better, bro. I need you to feel better.
Bruh, it's not a man, it's the university. That's the problem.
So we gotta go whoop them
It's
all.
not Raw. It's not a man. It's the man. Okay.
Oh my
It's the
god.
system of
Oh
college
It's
my
the
football.
system,
god.
man.
It's
It's
the
the
system
system,
of
man.
college football, Raw. Get it right.
I got you, bro. I
So
got you.
so with
Don't
the
make him
playoff,
cry, Raw.
I got
Come
a
on, bro.
question for the panel when y'all done. When y'all, you know what I mean. So with everything said and done, with the college football playoff, y'all, do y'all think the committee got it right, or do y'all feel like there
I
was a
love
couple of
it,
teams
bro.
that should got
Not
in
to
there?
cut you off, but I
I
love
think
it,
I
bro.
think the committee got it right. I think the committee got it right at the end of the day.
I can't. No,
Yeah,
no,
They
it
no.
gotta
wasn't
I
do.
ain't
that
They
saying they
gotta
bad.
got it
No,
right.
hell
reseed.
no,
They
they
gotta
didn't get it right.
reseed
What
the
you
I
talking
ain't say
about?
teams.
they
How
got
they
it
got it
right.
It
right?
was in the
I
first
Wait, who
round.
should have been in that didn't that wasn't in? Wait, who's the
the
team?
Other
What's
than
the
the
Forget
first
team?
shouldn't have
round, it was.
been in the seed.
Miami.
They need to
Miami
see.
should have been in it. They should have let us in.
It's Miami, bro.
Couldn't
Oh
Motherfuckers
god.
disagree more.
losing
Miami
to
should have
Syracuse.
won if they wanted in.
Don't do that,
Y'all
bro.
You in
Exactly.
and you in. If you win,
niggas
I
should
say
control your
win
own
and you
destiny,
win and
bro.
you
Like, stop
lose,
it,
then
y'all.
you
Don't
out.
don't do
Period.
that.
SMU shouldn't have been
Come
in
on,
there.
listen. Don't
I
do
think
that.
they. I think they chose the
Wait,
right
y'all
teams.
control your own destiny. Y'all tricked it off. What are we doing?
My thing was because like it was like the bottom half of the bracket. That's why I thought maybe some other teams should have been in there.
Ooh.
Like
It's not
let's
even just that. It's
substitute
the seeding of
SMU
it.
and Indiana. What you say? What you say, Jason?
My problem with it wasn't so much that, like, I've got issues with all of it, but I would tell you that the biggest issue with me is I don't mind necessarily an automatic bid. I don't like automatic seeds. I think that's
Yeah,
trash.
the top four seeds is ridiculous.
Agree, Jason.
But
Agreed.
I have a question about that though.
Oregon
So
shouldn't have had that. You shouldn't. They shouldn't have had Ohio State in the
so
I
but
agree
I have
with
a
Yeah,
question about the
automatic
it
automatic
bids in
ends
the
seeding.
up
playoff
with
if you're the
Boise
conference
and
champion.
SMU.
I agree with automatic bids in the playoff if you're the conference champion, but not necessarily automatic seeds. I think the top four teams in the country should have had those seeds and not
should have had the buys.
necessarily
Yeah,
the conference champion.
Okay.
yeah.
If they're gonna do automatic seed like they do in the NFL, they do that in the NFL as well. You know, give
They
you those seeds, the
reseed.
bye
Yeah,
week
reseed.
stuff.
Yep.
So
Right.
But
Right.
I do
So
I
agree. I do
I don't
agree. The
agree with
conference champion should have a bid in the playoffs.
how you
that.
feel
I
about it,
don't. I
Raw?
don't mind. I don't mind either way. I don't care either way.
Oh
Because
yeah, I
there's
think
no
bro.
it's kind
point to
of
have it if you don't have that.
Well,
Especially
then
with
I
joint
mean,
they
sports.
should
you
they
get to
should
hang.
they
You get
should
to hang a banner.
they should make it like a lottery. Then, like once you win, they should lottery it out.
Mm.
You should get a ball with a number on it, and then they
What
pull
you
you.
mean? Yeah.
I'd
Oh,
be
SMU
cooler. Yeah,
SMU shouldn't have been
I'd be
in for
cooler
Play
with
sure.
that
on
than what it
play on
is.
a still better
I
matter.
think you gotta get the top 12. You get the top 12 and you reseed them, bro.
I like
You
that.
gotta
I
reseed
think
them,
that'll
bro.
be
I like
better.
that.
I think
You
if you do
gotta
that, it'll be
reseed them,
better.
bro. Because
NFL.
So you don't.
But
So Raw. So
how
you don't want
in
the.
but the
them?
question is,
You don't want the
who's
conference
in the top
champions to have an
12?
automatic bid.
I don't mind an automatic bid. Just
yeah,
don't
no, they
seed
can
them
get in
automatically.
auto.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that,
The seed.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
seeding. Yeah. The seeding is the biggest thing.
Because there's no way
Yeah.
that SMU. First off, SMU didn't belong there. Anybody?
No, they
I
didn't.
can't.
Neither
I,
did
Exactly.
I don't
Indiana.
know.
Wait,
I
Yeah,
have a, I have a, I have a,
Indiana, SMU, and Boise State ain't believe.
I have a,
I was
que-
just
I have
that
a,
was
I have
my
a
wait.
question though.
We putting in Alabama and Ole
Nah, you
Miss
can't do
and
Boise like
Yeah.
that.
Why
Nah, the
not?
little
Why
guy
Here's
got
not?
the
to get a
reason
shot.
I
oh
think
yeah.
Okay.
So
SMU
then
did
no
that's
one
SEC
at a
deserve it.
time.
Hold
One
on,
at a
fellas.
time.
One at a
One at
time.
a
One at a
time.
time.
so it's
Here's
SEC
the
first.
reason I think SMU did deserve it because the committee, first and foremost, let me say the committee, sometimes when you make a bed, you need to lie in it.
Oh
The
Lord.
committee gave SMU this high ranking and said that they were one of the top 8 teams in the country, which we know better, but they did. So when they got to the SACC championship and they end up with Clemson in there, which of course the committee wasn't looking for that curveball because that committee had already gave it to Miami.
Thank you,
They
Miami.
already made Miami the number 3 team in the country and gave them the ACC championship. I mean the bye week okay, and put them in the ACC. They made them the ACC champions. That's what the committee did before the game was played.
All right.
And then when Miami lost 2 out of the 3 last games of the season, and they said, "Oh, curveball." Now we got to look at the next best team, and the next best team was SMU, who had lost but 1 game.
That's the
So
problem.
now Clemson ended up out of all teams in the ACC championship game and actually beats SMU. We know Clemson lose, they out, and Alabama's in. Okay, so Clemson wins, but SMU make it close. If Clemson had to blow SMU out, then I think SMU would have been out. But
Well,
because
wait.
SMU played it close, they let them in. They stuck with their stupid rule that they had early in the year that said SMU was the top 8 in the country, which we know they're not. But that's
What
what
they
they
really
did.
did
I
was
don't think
overcorrect
I
for their
don't think they should
stupidity
be
with Florida
punished.
State last year.
Yeah.
That
Who
overcorrect.
driving? Somebody driving?
Yeah, that me.
Oh, my,
And
okay.
I don't think you should be punished if you lose a conference championship game.
I don't agree with that though, because
Yeah, I don't agree with that either.
You get there, I don't think you should be punished.
hold on
I
though.
think
That may
yeah, it
be-
need to be.
That may be the case in the SEC or maybe the Big Ten or whatever, or if the ACC was actually good, that would be okay with me. But the truth of it is the ACC weren't that damn good. We know they weren't that damn good. But and because SMU, what was their signature win? Tell me which one it was, because they didn't have one.
Well, they
They
didn't
lost.
have, and correct. And the committee made them top 8 in the country without one.
I
So the
agree.
That's
I
committee
agree
crazy.
with what
made
you're
that
saying.
screw up.
But
Yeah.
but that's because they're not going by strength of schedule anywhere around. They talk about it a lot, but the strength of schedule really don't matter. And
Strength
so
of
here's what's
schedule
going to end up
heavily
happening. If
influences
they keep on
preseason
doing it
rankings,
like
though.
this, what the SEC is going to decide not to do is not only are we not going to go to 9 games, we're going to go down to 6. And then we're going to play against a bunch of trash teams that y'all don't want us to play against because it's all about wins and not losses. And so if we're going to sit here and play this little game like that, SMU lost the best games that they played throughout the year were against BYU. They lost at home. And then they lost that the game. What? Oh, yeah, the last game, the championship game to Clemson, who was getting beat already. The Clemson would have never been in there. They shouldn't have been in there. They got boat raced by Louisville at home, right? But the point is, and then, of course, Miami, same thing. Who did Miami play all year? So
Nobody. And Cam Ward had to turn and do his famous impersonation of Superman
all the time,
for about
right?
3 of their games for
Yes,
them to
ma'am.
win 3 of their games. So we're not even talking about Miami.
But
They
that's the
7 and
point,
5
though.
again, at
If
least,
you look
at
at-
best.
But they're treating every win and loss the same when they're not the same. You can't tell me that whether Oklahoma was good this year or not, and we know that they weren't, that losing to Oklahoma if you're Alabama is the same thing as losing to BYU if you're SMU, or losing to Louisville if you're Clemson too. It's not the
I
same
totally
thing. It
agree with you,
certainly is
Jason.
the same thing as Boise State. You know, okay, Boise State lost to Oregon, but who did they beat? They beat UNLV twice. When the hell's the last time UNLV was anything good?
Man.
I agree with
But the
everything you're
SEC
saying,
helped John
Jason. All
Yeager
I'm
this year,
saying
but-
to you is because the committee sticks
So
their
you
foot
want
in
so
their
you wanted
mouth
to see
with
what,
these
like 6,
conference
7
with these
SEC teams in
rankings
there?
during the
I didn't
year.
say that.
Yeah, and then you get to the end of the year, and
Yeah,
that's what they're stuck with.
Do you
When
want the best
Miami
teams or
gets
do you not want the best teams? Is all I'm saying. Do
But
you want
that-
the
but-
best?
Lexi, do you believe Miami should have been in the playoffs?
I do not.
I want a
Okay.
combination.
I think Miami, if Miami wanted to be in the playoffs, they should have beat Louisville.
I
If
want
they
the
beat
best
Louisville, they
team.
in. Win, you in. If you tell
But
me if I
You
win,
either
I'm
want
in.
the best teams
I
or you
don't
don't.
win.
It's not a combination, EA. Come on.
No,
man.
I want the best teams, but I want the play on the field matters. Like you can't lose games and say, "Oh, just
Here's
because
the
of
thing,
power
EA.
rating, like we gonna
Yeah,
let
you're
we
not
lost
going to get
Alabama
the best
in." Like
teams because the conferences are off
the
balance.
play. Well, I mean
The
that's
conferences are not created
exactly the
equal.
conference.
So you're not
Exactly.
going to get the best teams.
So,
at
yeah,
that.
Exactly,
if
and
you're
the
gonna
strength of
say that,
schedule
though-
and the strength of schedule, preseason rankings have a huge impact in that.
Totally
Right?
disagree.
Wait, you say you do disagree?
Oh yeah, I've had this argument. But anyway, let me before you go too far, let me just say this. The biggest problem is, and y'all have heard me say it, rankings is not a reflection on how good a team is.
That's true.
Rankings is simply all it is a display of how many games you won in a row. If Miami had lost them 2 games, the first 2 games of the season, they've been in the playoffs. It's simple as that, bro. They've been in the playoffs.
Yeah,
All right.
recency bias
They,
definitely play a role. I get that.
So
bro,
my
they lost
Yeah, you have
the
South
the last.
Carolina fans telling you that they deserve to be in over two
Right,
teams that beat them.
right. So that's the thing. It's uh, the only reason Miami got kicked out because they lost that last game. Because they had them automatically in since they were doing it. So
They
Yeah.
had
because they
given them
lost
the
them,
ACC title, basically. They had
right?
given it to
They
them.
had them all in.
all
Yeah.
right.
So
Struggle with
I
But
Vodka,
if you do it,
struggle
but
with
if you
the
do it like y'all
cow.
saying, you're gonna have a bunch of SEC teams, and then y'all
Yeah,
gonna complain.
that's
People
what
are
it
gonna complain
is.
about
but see, I
that.
don't agree with that.
You guys are complaining about that part, but if you either want the best teams playing for the Natty or you don't.
Amen, Jason.
Well, we got
But
shoot,
but
we got
but the
we
thing
got two
is, if you
non-SEC teams
win your
playing for the Natty
conference,
right
you're
now.
considered one of the best teams in your conference.
I don't think
Boise
it
State
wasn't
was the
that
best
bad this
team in their
year.
conference. So how
So
can you deny them?
Top
my next question was leading into was going to lead into
What was
it's
that,
still
Jason?
it's still on the same subject.
What
But my next
what did
question
Jason
is,
say?
so what teams do we put in if we take out SMU? Hypothetically speaking, we take out SMU and Indiana. What teams do we put in to replace those teams in the playoff?
You definitely got to put Alabama in there, bro. You definitely got to have Alabama in there, bro. You can't have Alabama outbrewing
Alabama
SMU
lost
in, bro.
to Vandy and OU late though.
Yeah,
Okay,
bro, but
that's where y'all mess up at, bro. See, losing. Okay, I get
Yeah,
it.
you
They
can't
lost.
you
No,
can't do that.
I'm just
yeah,
saying,
yeah, they
like
We
lost,
lost.
how
bro.
you
But
get,
they're gonna have
y'all
the
can get a
same
lot of
issues
people
with
would
every
say,
year.
you
No,
know what I
hold on,
mean?
hold
You
on,
know
hold
they
on.
the
But hold on.
superior
This is the
team,
problem.
though.
This is the problem.
One out of time.
This is the problem, fellas. When you want to pick a SMU and you want to argue, let's take them SMU or Alabama. You want to argue against them too. Fine. The problem is you're giving SMU credit you ain't seen. You seen Alabama say, I'm one of the best teams in the country. You didn't
They are.
see SMU ever tell you that. The only reason you put SMU in there is because you assume that they may be good. You didn't
Yeah.
see them ever show you that.
No, that was based
Amen,
on
Play
Rob.
record.
the
All
play
right.
on the field matters. Wins and losses matter,
That's the
bro.
play
Hey,
on the
Rob.
field.
Yeah,
That's
so
the play on
SMU
the
got beat
Wins
by
and losses matter,
BYU.
bro.
SMU they got beat by BYU.
And
Cool.
that's
And
how you answer that.
Alabama got beat by Vandy. Like, what do you mean? Like, both
So
teams lost. Like,
So okay,
Yeah, okay.
let me ask you a question.
so it's a strength of schedule argument there for
Do
you.
you really think that SMU would beat Vandy
No,
on the road?
Vandy?
Yes.
I think they have a shot.
See,
Man,
I
I
got a
don't
shot
know,
for
because
that.
Vandy was
What's the
playing
spread? What's the
some man.
spread for that?
Vandy was playing some football
I,
this
Hold
year,
on.
that's
What's
bro.
the
the point I'm trying to make is
hold on?
you
What's the spread? What's the
no,
spread for that game?
you
no,
act like it's a bad
no,
loss for Alabama. And
no.
it may be a bad loss for Alabama, but it wouldn't be a bad loss for SMU. Come on, man. You can't be both. You can't have it both ways.
All
But
right.
I think
I'm not
it's
That's
saying
the
I
I
don't
truth.
want
think
the
it's
best
more of
teams in
like
there,
cause
but what you do
like
on
the
the field has
reputation
to
of
matter, bro.
Alabama.
Like, and
Like
everything is relative. Like,
It
Alabama
is,
got
guy.
better
Whoever
players than
said that,
SMU.
the
They playing
reputation
a
of
better.
Alabama,
Everybody
you're
agrees
right.
that SEC is a better conference than the ACC.
So then,
Nobody disagreeing.
I
that's
think that
not the
coach
point.
got
Yes,
exposed
no,
though
there
at
are a lot of people
Alabama.
that are
That's an
disagreeing.
unfair setup from the jump, right? Because the sixth best SEC team is going to be better than the second. The
So
second
you
best.
either
Big
want
12.
the best teams in the playoff or you don't. Is the point I'm making, EA?
I
All
think they're
right.
trying to make
But
a balance. That's what I'm saying. I think they're trying to make a balance.
I
Well,
don't
we
disagree with
said
y'all. I
And I'm
don't
Alabama.
not
disagree
sure
with y'all,
why
but
is the goal, but that just you just let me know that's what your goal is for the playoff. Your goal is to
Mhm.
have the best teams in the playoff.
It should be
The
the
goal
goal of
could be the
everybody.
goal
I
could
think
be
it's
to
a
be
national championship. We're not doing this for shits and giggles.
yeah,
I don't disagree
But
with y'all.
if
the
But
we
teams
having
play the games on the
conference
field,
championships and conference
right?
championship
The
games,
games are played on the
you have
field,
to
not a script.
include everyone that won their conference championship. That's
But
just how it works.
no, you don't. No, you don't, because they don't even do that. They don't even do that.
But
you're gonna
they
we're gonna
should. That's what I'm trying to say.
you're gonna always see the same team
Why
sit
are we
there and
making
do
it
it like
difficult?
that.
Like
So if you win the
Division
MAC
One,
conference, if you win
Well,
the MAC
The
conference, you
conference
should definitely be in the playoff. Is that what you're
conferences
telling
are
me?
you
always
said
going to
the
be
MAC.
unequal though.
Yeah.
But the conferences are never going to be equal though.
Agreed,
If
EA.
if you're
That's what I'm
doing the
saying.
true, if they're all technically Division 1A, same level, then if you win your conference championship, you're supposed to
They're
be in the
not the
playoffs.
same level,
But
though.
if
You know
they're
that.
not
You know that.
different levels, then have a different playoff. That's my
I
answer.
mean,
That's
when I go to the 14-team playoff, what is it, 2026?
That ain't going to
Next year,
change
right?
shit
Next
either. It'll
year.
just be the next two
Next
down
year.
down the
Yeah.
road.
No, next
exactly
year
that
No,
ain't
actually, this
next year
year.
they're doing automatic bids.
This
SEC
year.
get 4, Big Ten get 4, Big Ten get 2, ACC get 2, right? That's the agreement, right?
I don't,
I don't know.
it's the highest ranked
I
conference. The highest
I
ranked
I
think the
conference.
automatic bid for SEC and Big Ten teams because you already know
Here's
the
the
SEC
here's the
don't make
problem though with talking about all that. You start saying the play on the field has to matter. Okay, fine. I understand what you're saying, but the play on the field has to matter. Also has to bring in the strength of the schedule that you go up against. If you're Indiana and you play the 105th best schedule in the country, you're going to tell me their one loss is still better than the 3 that Alabama had? Because I
But
don't believe you.
but
Strength of
it's not.
schedule should only matter for seeding.
It's
What?
not it's not their fault that they
Okay,
got that
then
schedule.
watch how
I mean,
the
you gotta
SEC
play.
rolls.
You
It
gotta
is.
Drop
It
back
is
on the
though.
number of
It is their
conference
fault.
games they have.
If they
How
didn't go
Indiana was
3-9 the year
blowing out
before, they
teams.
wouldn't have had that.
But
They
we're
wasn't
having
just
two different
behind the
conversations at
team.
the same time.
They was blowing out teams in the Big Ten.
I just
Now
only
they was,
only asked the one
they
question.
didn't have the heavy hitters, but they was blowing out who was on their schedule until they came up against.
They were blowing out the bad teams in the Big Ten, and the only good team they played in the Big Ten was Ohio State, and they got
in the
And
country.
they played
rolled.
Michigan too.
No, they didn't.
Indiana.
Michigan wasn't good this year. But Trucker, what's your
Indiana,
question, hon? I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Indiana did play Michigan.
Okay.
Oh,
was
Indiana ain't
Michigan
play
good?
Michigan.
Was
I thought they
Michigan
did
good?
play
They were
Michigan.
6-6,
They
right?
had to play somebody.
They were 6-6.
And Michigan was average this
Yeah,
year.
didn't Michigan?
Yeah, they was
Didn't
yeah.
Michigan beat
But that was
Ohio?
because the quarterback played up.
Hey, Michigan beat some teams this year, didn't they?
They beat Ohio
come
State.
on, man. What we doing, EA? What we doing, EA? What we doing, EA?
They were
Too
average.
much.
Hey,
That's too
hey,
much,
so
bro.
Hey,
Jason,
what happened in that bowl game?
hey, so Jason,
It
in
was a bowl
basketball,
game. It was a
if you
bowl
win your
game.
conference championship, you get to the playoffs.
The same
Okay,
basketball.
I
I
guess
know,
I'll say
but I'm just saying that's how it's run. So why would it be
That's not.
different for football?
Why? Because they're seeding these guys, and you got 64 spots. We're talking about the 12 best places, not 65 of them.
We
where
can't
you can.
compare basketball and football. Two different
It's not.
sports.
It
man.
ain't even
It doesn't. It's two
Come on.
different sports, all the same level, Division One. So if
Yeah.
everybody's in
Listen,
Division One,
Not comparable.
you can't
But you
equate.
can't compare that. You can't
I know
compare
y'all. I know y'all. I know that.
playoff basketball,
But
man.
what I'm trying to tell you is we're trying to say if you're classifying all these colleges on the same level when we know they're really not. But if you're qualifying them as the same level, then if you win your conference, you're supposed to be in the playoffs.
Who's qualifying them as the same level?
The universities, they're all D1A.
No, they're not.
Yes. Who's not D1A?
D1A doesn't have anything to do with the Power 4 conferences, and even the Power 4 conferences.
There is no Power 4. There is no Power 5.
Yes, there is.
No, it's not.
The
Not
Power 4
anymore.
conferences are the
And
ACC,
even when that stuff
the
existed, the
Big Ten, and the
G5
Big-
and the Power 5 were still all considered D1A.
So what?
So they're all the same division. This Power 4, Power 5 is just something SEC wanted to separate themselves. They're all just D1A.
You got to be real here. You got to act like you really.
I understand the talent gap and the talent level, but the division is still the same. That's why there's a FCS and a BCS.
So you're
when
telling
it
me
was
that a win over UNLV is the same as a win over.
I'm not saying what is or what isn't. I'm saying what is legislated. D1A is D1A for all those teams. It doesn't matter if we don't want it. It doesn't feel like it, or we don't want it to be, and we know that one conference is better than the other. It is.
Yeah, Jason, old man is just talking about what's on paper, black and white, as far as classification of universities.
Okay,
yeah,
but that doesn't have nothing to do with the seeding of this tournament.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
right. But I guess he's saying that just let them all have an opportunity, which I will say this. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. No. I don't believe. No. Oh, no.
I'll tell you what I'm really saying. What I'm really saying is they really do need to split it up because there is a big gap, and it's no.
I ain't got
there's no point in pretending. Just say, that's what I'm really saying. But if you're not going to go that route, then you got to treat them all as the same. That's what I'm saying.
I will admit, this is what I want. If I had a choice in the matter, if you go to 14. Give me 7 autos, but I want a reseeding. Because for this, and I'm admitting, Jason, I'm admitting everybody that against me. I'm admitting this ain't the best 14, but I don't want to lose the country. Because if you go best 12,
I'll give you that.
Right, if you go best 12, you're gonna have a regional. You're gonna end up having a regional playoff. if you go bet if you go best, like you said, 1 through 12, you're
Yeah.
gonna have a regional playoff.
That's
Mhm.
why
And
if it was a 64 team thing, it'd be different. I get what you're saying. Absolutely.
yeah. So with me personally, if you go 14, give me 7 autos.
And you might as well
Reseed them.
you might as well go ahead and get it to 16. That's where you're headed either way.
Okay, if you go to 16, give me 8 autos, right? I think it's 10 conferences. Is it? I think it's 10. But give me 8 autos. I think that's good
You've
enough.
got
Give
the
me 8
power. You've got the yes, it's 10. It's the power 4 and the group of 6 now.
Yeah. So yeah, give me 8 autos, right? And reseed them and play them. So in the end, and don't get no buys. So your buy is you got to play your a buy for Texas or Ohio State. If they finish at the top, that means your buy you end up having to play Northern Illinois.
I think you kind of need to do that anyway because right now the buy doesn't help anybody. It hadn't.
It don't help. It's worse.
It's because you
I
got
don't know.
those
It's
teams
one
got
of
a
the
month off,
samples,
and they're gonna play somebody that just played a week ago.
Yeah, but
they don't have that same rust.
You're one closer to the championship now, bro.
Bro, Oregon would have took Texas route. Oregon would have took State route.
Well, yeah, I
day
get that.
long.
No, Oregon
they had
got screwed because of the
Oregon
not
got screwed
reseeding.
bad.
But once you do the reseeding, the buy is gonna matter, right?
I wouldn't
Like
have no
once
buy.
the once
The
What?
reason
No
if you go
buy.
16
There should be no buy
if
at
you go
all.
16,
No
you
buy.
can't go buys. But
It doesn't make sense.
I wouldn't
no, I'm
go.
talking
I
about
would
14. I'm talking about when they go to 14.
okay. Yeah, but yeah, when we stretch it out to 16, I'm just saying,
I think you might as
bro,
well
just
jump to 14 and go to 16 because that's where they're headed 2 years after that, anyways. That's what
I mean,
they're
you can
trying
still
to
do
do.
buy. You can still do buys with 16 teams, right? You just have to.
But why do a buy? You just end up
yeah, I
playing
mean, I
more
wouldn't do a
football
buy,
for
bro,
no reason.
because you extending in the season. Just
Yeah, you would have to do it. Yeah, like
Hey, Raw, I
Yeah,
have a
so-
question, Raw. Raw, when
What's
you
up?
said give you 8 auto, you talking about the eight people that automatically get playoff bids? That's what you mean?
right. So if you win your conference, you get an automatic bid. You get an
Okay.
automatic. You
talking about
automatically
P4, right?
That would only be
no.
Wait.
No,
So we're talking about adding in more group of 5 champions.
Yeah,
Wait, so if you win
He's,
your
talk, he's talking about my
16.
scenario. He's talking about my scenario.
Yeah, with what he said, if we the 16, give me the 8 autos, bro.
No.
Because let me
What you saying?
let me
Eight?
tell
You
you
saying
why.
wait? What you saying?
Hold
8
on.
automatic? What you talking
tell
about?
you
Like
why.
the me? You talking about all those other conferences too?
What you say? That's what
He's
it is
talking
now,
about
bro.
all D1. He's talking about
That's
my
exactly what it is now.
yeah.
But hold on. Let me tell you why.
The
Let me tell
country
you
ain't
why.
trying to see that, dog.
They absolutely trying to see it. Let me tell you why. First and foremost, I
That
already
would
told
make
y'all.
no money.
You would make some money because they gonna watch. It don't matter. Ohio State people, when they
What was they
play
trying to
Northern
watch
Illinois, they're gonna watch
Tulane,
the
bro?
game, bro.
They're
They're
still
going to watch the
he's
game.
saying still give them buys then, in other words.
Bro,
That's what I
nobody's
said.
trying to watch San
But you
Diego
also,
State, bro.
but bro, you gotta also understand.
San
You gotta
Jose
also
State,
understand
dog.
this too, though. I don't care about none of that because I think it's gonna be pretty much the same 4 anyway. So to
Right.
me, it's a wash. Like going to 14. I mean, look, they went to 12. Guess what? It's the same 4, almost. Only difference
I
is Texas took the
mean,
place. Well, hold
is
on.
it
Texas
really
took the
the
place of
same?
Alabama. Hold on. Texas took the place of Alabama. Texas was in the playoffs last year. This ain't the first time Notre Dame been in the playoffs or a BCS championship. So they've been there
Yeah, but
before.
it's been like
Ohio State there
since
every year.
2013. Yeah,
And
Ohio
who the
State.
other team? The only new team was Penn
Penn
State,
State.
bro. That's it.
Arizona. Okay, can we be real about Texas? Arizona State.
Bro, wait, but
Hail
that ain't the
Mary, man.
conversation. That
Yeah,
is
that's
not the
not the
conversation.
Like what? Like Texas almost lost.
Wait, don't change the
That
conversation yet.
ain't
Like
the
they like
conversation. The
what
point.
was
The
the win
point.
probability on that they should have lost.
Hey, you changing the conversation.
Yeah, the point of it is that since I feel you're gonna have the same 4 anyway, just give them the 8 and let's roll, bro. So nobody got no time to complain. You encompass the entire
Everybody likes
country
that
and you
one or
roll it.
two Cinderella, bro. Nobody trying to see 4 or 6.
You didn't
or
even
how
get your
many.
Cinderella this year.
I'm saying everybody like to see. Oh, Boise State, they a cute story. Okay, cool. But nobody trying to see more than that, dog. And
I can't,
Boise
man,
State,
so y'all,
a household
whoa,
name
y'all
at
don't
this
agree
point.
with it? Whoa, y'all don't agree with what I'm saying? I can't believe Jace turned his camera off on me. I can't believe you don't agree with
We
that.
ain't trying to see. I don't even.
So how would you like to see? So how would
All
you
the
like
other
to see the
conference, bro.
playoffs
We
go
ain't
next
trying
year?
to see that shit, bro.
Well,
We
then
not.
go back to 4. We'll go back to 4.
I
You
think we
think they
should go
should go
back with
back to
that
4,
with
Rod?
that idea
Hey,
Tubby
sorry, I
had.
had to go to the restroom real quick. My bad.
I did a Chumpy guy. What are you talking
Wait,
about?
so
Well,
you
yeah,
saying?
you weren't there, Raw.
Wait, hold
He had
on,
a
bro.
good
I'm looking
idea.
at so you saying a conference USA champion gets in?
He's saying
Yeah.
four of them.
Yeah.
Four of them. Yeah, I'm
Why
with
are you
you.
laughing?
Yo,
Yeah.
stop it,
Hey,
bro. Nobody trying to see that shit, bro.
No, man, I'm not
Bro,
with
did you hey, hold on. Did you complain about Ohio State, Tennessee?
What you mean did I complain about?
Yeah,
Like,
did
what's
you complain
draw the
about it, bro?
parallel?
I'm just asking. Huh?
Draw the parallel.
Okay. So instead of
Oh, you
Ohio
because
State
it was
beating
a blow.
Tennessee
You
by
saying it's
40,
a
they beat
blowout,
Northern Illinois by 40. What's the difference?
bro? It's the playoffs, bro. We trying to. I'm
Hold
not
on, but
saying
what's the
we.
difference, bro?
What
You
do you
ain't
mean?
told
What's
me
the
the
difference?
difference.
There is a difference
Is that
because
we
then
know
you
some of
get
the
in.
players
Then
on
you get
Tennessee
in.
going to the league. That's the difference.
Well, y'all crazy, man.
Either you want it to be more competitive or you don't. And I think you got to be going for more competition. Come on.
I don't want to see no 21
If you
point
want it to be
blowouts in the
more
playoffs.
competitive, then you have to
I'm not saying it
split
should
up
be
the
a Big Ten
division.
SEC invitational, but I'm saying
See, EA doesn't want EA wants his cake and eat it too.
Yeah, I
okay.
know it's
Little
crazy,
boys,
bro.
hold on.
Hey, hold
Little
on.
boys
Hey,
in
Jay,
there a little
I'm
bit,
trying to
right?
fix his problem, Jay. That's what's crazy about it. My solution, what I said, fixes the problem, but he just want to roll back. That's fine. If y'all want to do 4, that's fine. If you want to do the best, and then you say forget all the rest. If you want to do the best, I'm good with that. Put 5 SEC teams in, put 5 Big Ten teams in, and we ain't got no problem. I'm good with that.
what if they did
Bro,
it? What
bro,
if
I'm
what
I'm
if
trying to
good
have
with
that
that,
dog.
Raw.
We can't do that,
Nah,
dog.
If
nah,
you go
nah.
5-5 on
That's
those,
not fair.
I
all right,
think
but
you do 5-5 and 3 in the other 2. I think you're good to go.
Yeah, I think that's how it
Oh,
should be
so
too.
fuck the
okay, but
G5,
okay,
huh?
what if they did the 12 best and then they like kind of like how March Madness do? They had like an NIT type deal where it's like
That's
the
what the
best,
conference championship should be.
the best is out. So you do the best 12 teams, and then from 12 back, you have another playoff. Like you do away with like from 12 to let's say,
You just get rid of the bowl games, then, right?
well, you get rid of bowl games
Sure.
from
Yeah.
12 from 12 to let's say if it got to be even from 12 to 26, and then everybody else after that has bowl games, and it's
You,
2 playoffs. It's the
you
top of
don't
the
get
top
rid of the
playoff.
bowl games. The bowl games become the NIT or the
No,
national.
I mean, yeah, it would still be a bowl game,
Correct.
but
Yeah,
it'll be another playoff.
yeah.
so it's
Running simultaneously. Yeah,
simultaneous playoff.
Yeah, like
yeah.
okay, just like the NIT.
Did anybody watch
Just like
that?
FCS.
I mean, because it's still basically a bowl game, but it's just another playoff scenario.
The issue is the reason that they're not allowing this to happen because it's a money thing, guys. Let's just call it what it really
Yeah,
is.
it's
This is a
money.
money deal,
I'm
It's a
not even
money
sure.
thing, yeah.
and
I
so
was just about
the
to say
G,
that, Jason. Don't
the
forget about the
G5
money.
the G5 knows that they don't belong in this tournament. They know they don't. But if they agree to their own little tournament thing, which is never going to make the same amount of money or even kind of close to it, they might as well call themselves an FCS program because that's what it's going to be.
But it's
Right
not
now, the
necessarily.
FCS
It's not
champions would kill most of these G5 schools.
okay. Well, then so we stay at what Rawhide said. Then we get automatic bids plus whatever's left on the table, right? But what I'm saying is the best. So it's not even the best 12. It's kind of like what it's going to be. So it's going to 14
It's never
teams.
going to be the best 12. It's never going to be the best
Okay, well,
16.
so
It ain't going to
let's
be.
just say it's 14 teams, and you got the automatic bid plus whoever ranks up per ranking and win-loss percentage, right? So anything beyond that, it's another playoff as well. It's just not the top. You just don't get the national championship,
Mm-hmm.
but you still get basically you still can win a championship, just like the NIT. You still can win the NIT championship, but so it leaves teams like the.
That was cool 30 years ago, but nobody gives a shit about the
Yeah,
next
bro. I
generation.
think teams might just opt out and say, "Fuck it, we ain't doing this."
But they
Yeah, that
still
Play
playing
sounds
like a
bowl
whole
dumb.
games,
nother
so it's
playoff
really
for
no,
what?
they still
On a
playing bowl games,
consolation
so
prize?
it's no different.
Yeah, but it's not a whole nother play. That's like a whole nother 3, 4 games.
Hey,
What's going to
now
end up happening, though, they're going to have some kind of relegation or something like that at some point. I don't know where this is headed, but it feels like it's headed to a top 70 that are playing for this big deal.
I think they should just make a super conference.
That's what's going to happen.
Get 48 schools. I don't know, and just have it like the
60
NFL
maybe.
Okay,
division,
so that's
6
basically
divisions,
all right,
divisions.
that's my
Yeah, fuck
whole
it.
point. So basically, take off the NIT and just make it one big race to the top.
Just the whole 24. This all 24. Just let all 24 of them go ahead and play. Fuck it.
And then every 5
But
years,
that
teams
wouldn't be that
get up to
bad though.
relegation or some shit like that. I like the super conference idea, bro.
I
Like fuck
mean,
it.
yeah, like that wouldn't be
Then
that
you can have a
bad.
salary cap.
Here's
You
one
can have
thing you got
all
to
of
be
that type
careful
of
about. That's and what Rawhide is talking. I think what you're saying, Rob. If correct me if I'm wrong, is that when you start leaving out other programs like a Kansas State, who's got a nice they've got a nice history to them, then you're
Okay,
leaving out
that that
a lot of these big rivalries that matter to people. Now you're cutting off half the country.
I mean,
well,
but you ain't gonna be able to
they're
please
gonna answer
everybody
right
People
though.
still
there.
gonna
It's
Pull up,
watch,
not about
bro.
pleasing everybody. It's about giving at least the look of access.
pull up college bound comment.
No,
What about that?
I agree with you on that.
So 24 teams, 8 buys, no conference. Hey, Law Dog made something up already. I think I got it too.
But
I
what? But
think I,
what about?
I think I
I
got
think
Law
conference
Dog's playoff
championships
bracket.
shouldn't
You still
matter
got it,
though.
Law?
Like you win
Nah.
your conference, you get to hang a banner. Like that shit means something. Not every team. It's only like what 4 to 5
Then I'm
teams to have
saying,
It don't mean
well, then,
anything if you can't
so
get into the
it's no
playoffs.
need to complain right now. Then
Wait, hold on. The only point
Facts.
I was trying to make. The only point I was trying to make is like not. It's only a few teams. Like honestly, do you think Alabama had a chance to win a national championship this year? Really?
if they could have got in,
Yeah. Come
Yeah,
on.
they could have won.
Yeah, I
if
ain't
they
Yeah,
gonna
could
they
have
lie,
could have
got
bro. I
won.
in,
ain't gonna sit there and
Notre
lie,
Dame.
Yeah,
bro.
they could have
I'm
won,
gonna
bro.
bet against them, to be
What?
honest.
Yeah, they could have
I
won,
can't bet
bro.
against Alabama, bro. Like, yeah, they
Yeah,
be
bro.
having some
Hey,
bad games.
whoa.
All
EA.
right, bro.
EA, hold on. Let's be
Yeah,
for real. Let's
guys.
be for real. Hey, Ohio State looking like some dogs out there. But bro, they did not look like that at
They laid an
all
egg
during the
against their
season.
arch
No, they
rival.
did not.
I mean,
They
it's a
was looking like
No,
rivalry, man.
dogs
It's
to
a
this last
no,
rivalry.
game.
bro.
They looked like
They're
dogs
not
Ohio
to this
State
looking.
last
looked
game.
No,
dominant. Ohio State looked dominant the entire season until
You
that's
just
not
got
true,
done
until
bro.
telling us
they
that
lost a
Michigan
tough
was
game on the
good.
road against Oregon,
That's not
right?
true, bro. That's not
And
true, bro.
then
That's absolutely false,
and
bro.
then
That's
Michigan, they just I don't know what
bro.
happened.
That's
They
absolutely
forgot
false,
about
bro. They
football.
have not looked
And
good,
they got
bro.
in the playoff. They started smacking ass.
That because they started
What are
Bro.
we
giving the ball to
doing?
Jeremiah Smith.
Like
Yeah, and that's
all
my
I'm
point. So Alabama could do the same thing, bro.
Yeah, the thing is that Alabama didn't. If they played like they were playing at the end of the year, no, they don't win shit. But you think Jalen Milroe isn't the biggest passer in the world, but if you find a way to get him doing the things that he's doing well, which that's a coaching problem, not a
you can
Milroe
even
issue.
Alabama. Hold
Nah,
on. Oh,
yeah. I think that
they don't
coach
even really
was
detract. They
outmatched
don't.
in the
My bad, I don't even know
SEC.
why I brought up Alabama. I kind of sided. They don't even like distract from my point. Like, let's say you include Alabama as one of the 4 to 5 teams that can win a national championship. Cool, I grant you that. Right? There's only 4 to 5 that can win one every year, right? Right. So
Hmm.
making a playoff, if there's a 12
that's
team,
you
14
don't
team
know that
playoff,
because
that
ain't
means
no
six
way
or
no,
seven teams. We damn hold
you
on.
would have
We
never
know
predicted
SMU is
Notre
not gonna win a
Dame to
championship,
be in that bitch
right?
this year
We
though.
knew Indiana wasn't gonna win, right? We
Nope.
knew Boise wasn't gonna
Yeah,
win,
but
right?
you would have
But
said
Yeah,
the
we
same
already knew
about
that.
Notre
you
So
put
Dame.
those teams in,
making the
though, it
playoffs
was
don't
so
mean
important.
shit, right? But if you win your conference, right? I'm talking about for the history of the school, for the pride, for the the trajectory of the program. Winning your conference means something. Like you hang a banner, right? You get conference rings. Like you were the best in your
So
conference
you
that
shouldn't
year.
have no problem how it is right now. Then you should be good.
Wait, the only thing I don't have much issues with the only issues I got with the playoffs is the seeding. Just make sure the seating is correct, and I'm cool. The playoff is fine in my opinion.
I don't think it's
Right?
fine,
I'm
but
not looking to add
I think
more teams.
if you
I'm not looking at.
reseed or do it right, then I think it's better than, and I think that enough people are happy with it that you can stick with this for a while if you reseed it or don't have
How
automatic
do you
bids,
reseed it though?
automatic seeds is what I should say.
How do
If you
you
do it
reseed
without
it?
Playoffs wasn't
automatic
bad this
seeds,
year. It was just the first round. Like the first round was trash. Other than that, it's
But
been
I'm
pretty
asking,
good.
how do you reseed it?
Wait, but how do you do it without automatic seeds? That's what I'm
You
trying to
just
That's
understand.
it
take
right there,
so
Raw. I got it pulled. I
so
got
you
the
that
so
thing,
automatically
bro.
Boise
get
so
in.
Boise
You
wouldn't have
get
got a
12
bye.
teams that automatically get in, but then you say who's number 1, who's number 12.
Oh, you talking about that? So
Right?
yeah, I remember that.
What's on the screen is just ridiculous, bro. Because half of these teams don't. It's like we just playing games at this. We just
That's
playing
all
board
of them.
games at this point.
I
We
said
just
all of
playing
them.
board games at this point,
That's all
right?
of them.
Because half of the bracket can't like more 3/4 of the bracket don't have a chance.
How you know
Huh?
that? Because
Yeah,
you would have never.
You don't know
everybody
that.
has a chance. What are you
You
talking
don't
Right?
know
about?
What are you
that.
talking about?
You don't know
No,
that.
not everybody
You
has a chance here.
nobody
No.
has more than
Everybody has
What
a
are we
chance.
doing? You say everybody got a chance to win a national championship that's in this bracket?
Let me
No,
say this:
If you
Colorado
in the
has
Not
no
playoffs, you have a
everybody,
chance.
but
chance.
they get hot.
Colorado has no
there's more
chance.
teams,
No
Judge.
team.
I will
I don't give a
argue. I
fuck
will
how
argue
hot
that
Illinois get. They are
Missouri could
not
beat
beating
Iowa
Georgia
State
on a
and
neutral
beat
field.
Kansas State for sure. Clemson
Yeah,
could
'cause
easily drop to South Carolina.
That's okay. Clemson has been a national championship conversation
Miami,
for the past 10 years.
Miami will lose to BYU because that's what we'll do. Like, so it'll happen, bro. For
Bro,
sure.
we can just cut off the outer part of these brackets and we're good.
How though, bro? Like, I
I ain't
mean,
gonna
how?
lie.
Like, I
I
mean,
like this bracket. I ain't gonna lie, because BYU and Notre Dame will
You're
be a
just
good
saying you want
game.
more team. This is like this like fake fake sense of like competitiveness. Like fucking you telling me I'm looking at these teams.
Wait,
You
why are
telling
you
me
saying
fucking
that?
Iowa State, UNL, you telling me UNLV got a chance to win a national
I
championship?
mean,
So
well,
did
boys, they
UNLV
had
is not
they
in
would have
this
been in
It's
this
playoff.
to
like
beat
it's
Miami.
at
UNLV,
the
they're
top of the screen.
16.
That's
They're number
UNLV, right?
16.
It's the
They're
same
number
thing.
16.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, they up there
They're
at the
number
top level.
16. So
Fucking
Colorado, yeah.
Illinois,
Colorado don't stand a chance
Iowa
versus Tennessee.
State.
That's what
Like,
you're
what are
saying
we
too, right?
doing,
Oh,
bro?
oh, is this the top 24? Is that what
Like
this is?
somebody stuck.
Yeah, that's the top 24. Yeah,
There's only one team that's ranked ranked in the 20s. I got a chance.
don't say
This is
Colorado.
why no. This is why you can't do it by ranking. This is why you
Don't
can't
say
do it by ranking. You
Colorado.
have to do
Let
it
me
by
stop trolling,
ranking
man.
and strength of schedule.
Bro, this is
Because
just for
this
like
the
shits and
ranking is
giggles, man. You
off.
do this shit in a video game, bro.
But you
What
can
you
say
do?
the
The
same
only
thing for
EA, the
any
only
You do
other
this shit in a
playoff.
problem,
video
the only,
game,
hey,
man. What are we doing?
whoa, EA. The only problem what you're saying is
Yeah.
I just made the same argument when it was with 12. It's gonna be the same four.
Mm,
Yeah, it's gonna
Well,
end
yeah,
up
that's
being the same team.
oh, bro, that's my
mm.
point. Bro, if you wanted to go back to four, I had no problem with the 14 playoff.
No, no,
So
Everybody
no,
was
no,
you,
no,
doing
bro. I don't care one way or the other. My point is this though: an argument of they ain't gonna have a chance from expansion to me is a mute argument because I can make the same argument for 8.
I get
So
it. I
I'm
get it.
like, I don't think that's an
The only
argument,
point
period.
I get it. The only point what I was trying to make is somebody said we should cancel conference championship games. Right? I don't think we should cancel conference championship games because I still think they might not matter in the
There's a way
national
to do that.
context, but I
I
still
think they're
think that
talking
winning
about
your conference means something.
presently because the conference champions all got beat.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, but you just looking at hold on, but I'm not looking at
But you're
from the
proving
context
EA
of the
point when you
playoffs.
say that,
You're just
Jason,
looking at
because
it
the
as they
conference
stand
No, what
champion
I'm
alone.
saying
got
is
beat. And as
EA,
listen, I'm glad I
I
got a
was talking
conference
about
champion now.
because of the way that the seeds went, they were automatically seeded, right? Because of they winning that conference championship. So you're going to tell me that Boise winning the Mountain West Conference means as much as being second place in the Big 12 because it did. In fact, it meant more because the second place in the Big 12 team didn't get any thought whatsoever. Iowa State was better than SMU. Iowa State was probably better than I don't know that they were better than Arizona State. They got beat by them, so they weren't.
Hold on, I think we kind of talking past each other. I think I'm
Yeah,
not sure if it was on a
I'm not
panel
sure. I
or
hit your point there, Jason.
hey,
I would
EA,
say
I'm
this.
not
I
sure if it
think
was in the
these
chat or
colleges.
whatever. But somebody said they shouldn't be playing conference championship games
that
anymore.
you don't
I
need
said
the
no, we should
you don't
still
need
play
the
it 'cause it's
game,
gonna mean
EA.
something.
Listen, you don't need the game.
Oh, you're just saying, oh, okay,
If every team plays each other in their conference, whoever
right?
has the best record is the
Is the
conference
conference
champion.
champion.
You
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
need the
yeah.
game. It used
I
to be
agree.
like that. You don't need the
They're doing
game.
that
No, I
for
still
money
think
too. Don't get it
a
twisted. They're doing
game.
that one for money too.
I get what you're saying, but
Oh yeah,
Exactly.
for sure.
I still like the fact that like the top
I
two
agree with
teams,
that, Jason.
right, get to back like because you might have some injuries
Well,
early
then
in the
you gotta
season.
choose,
You
then,
start to
bro.
get
You're not
hot.
gonna be able to have everything your way, bro.
Right, so I still think that game. I still think that game
You gotta
is.
choose, then.
What you
Well,
mean?
y'all
No,
talking
what
about
you
this
saying, bro?
24 team tournament thing for college kids. I want to represent the professors in these colleges and say one of these days they got to come to class. And listen,
These
Hey,
niggas-
this is
that's about
a lot of football, guys, for some kids. You know, football is a tough, hard sport, injury-prone sport.
Mhm.
And these kids ain't, I mean, I get it, they getting NILs and getting some money now. Don't get me wrong, I get that. But they ain't in the NFL yet. Where they
hey,
get this
that school thing Lexus is about to be done with.
Say it again now. I'm sorry.
That school thing requirement for the athletes going to school full time, that's about to be done.
What do you mean?
What you mean? What you mean?
The minute I know the minute they go they're treated as employees, whether they're employees working for a nonprofit or not. They can't require that they go to school for full time or part time. That's just going to be like extra. They're going to require them spending more time in meetings on the field, getting stronger. It's pro, semi-pro,
Oh,
pro, whatever you want
yeah,
to call
it's
it.
gonna be NFL
That's
G League.
about to be done in, I would say,
It's
10
about to be
years.
semi-pro. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. You're
Okay,
right
well,
about
we'll
that.
have to
Maybe
wait for
10
10 years
months.
and see
Maybe
if that
10 months.
happens. But for now,
He said
I
10
will speak
months.
for these professors and say they got to go get their English class and get their A.
Yeah, but I don't,
Nah,
the,
these
pro- the
College,
kids, these
get their
professors
kids ain't
not
class.
gonna be going to
necessarily
school
worried
once
about
they
that. The,
24
they'll,
is a
they'll,
lot, guys. That's a
they'll
lot.
give the
That's all I'm
professors
saying.
a little kickback to be quiet, man, and extend them quizzes and them tests for them boys. Them professors
Yeah,
ain't worried about that. You get them free tickets to the game in a hotel, they be all right.
Guys, y'all got to quit acting like if 24 is too many, but 16's not. It's still the same amount of teams that can win the damn thing. So let's be honest. You either want it to be a 14 playoff, or you want it to be a 16 to 24, and you want everybody to have a shot. You
but
can't have it both ways.
everybody
You
got it.
cannot have it both ways. You either got to give everybody access to it, or you got to give nobody access to it, but these certain big boys. That's
well,
it.
I
So
think
here's
that's
the
what
thing
all.
though:
NFL,
the
I
14
think
playoff it'll never go back to that because the bowl games don't matter anymore. No one cares.
They
So
didn't
Yeah,
matter then.
I
Yeah.
think we went
yeah,
all
but
the
the
way
bowl
around the
games haven't
world
been
just to
mattering
get
for
up
a
the
minute.
street. I want to
Bowl
go. I
games
think we went
matter.
all the way around the world just to get up the street. I think we
Nah,
should do
bro.
what I'd like Rawhide's suggestion is just listen. We at 12. Let's keep it. That's probably not gonna ever go back to 4. So we're at 12. Let's
Well, they're
keep it at
going. They're
12.
going to
Let's not get
14.
They're
Yeah.
crazy
going.
with the 16 and 24 and all that stuff because these are college kids, and until that law changes that he was talking about in 10 years or whenever it changes, they got to go to school and class and all that stuff as well. Stay with the 12 and then do what Rawhide suggested then.
Yeah, but ain't
They going
nobody
to
necessarily
14.
concerned about
They
the schooling though.
Yeah, they're already
I
going to
think that's a
nobody
14.
care about
non-factor.
the schooling.
they going to
Yeah, don't nobody care
14.
about
The
that.
next step, y'all,
Don't
we
hey,
are
don't wake
headed.
Cliff. Don't wake Cliff up, Law.
We are going. We are headed towards the top 25 playing, whether we want to say
Yeah,
it or not,
I don't
folks.
want him to come up here and start
We're
whining.
headed
I
that
don't
They
think
way.
we
already
are,
up here.
but we'll
We're
see.
headed
But I
that
don't
way.
believe
But
that. We'll
I
see.
think I got a hot take. Y'all know I always got something hot to say. I would argue that Arizona State, if they would have had like the same place where Penn State or SMU was, that Arizona State probably would have ended up in the national championship.
I
What?
don't have
Nah, they didn't.
Arizona State
Nah,
beating
they're
Notre
too
Dame.
relying on one player.
Ooh,
What?
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
That was
hold on.
garbage.
I didn't hear what he
Who?
said. What you
I
They
say?
would
gotta
have
see.
beat Texas. Yeah.
I gotta visualize it. I gotta visualize and see where the bracket at. But I
Well,
to
let me see.
actually
Let me
Realize
say
pull
that
up the bracket,
Texas
bro.
isn't that good.
if Arizona State would have been placed in a bracket where Indiana was or somebody, I think they'd be up in there right now,
You
y'all.
trying to
I
Oh
think
my
provoke
they'd
God,
be
conversation.
able
bro!
to for sure.
Nah,
Nah.
Indiana played Notre
Going on.
Dame.
They'd have beaten they'd have beaten Notre Dame then.
I
Hey,
think
EA,
so.
let me ask you this: did you have Notre Dame going
Arizona
to
State.
the ship?
Did I have Notre Dame going to? I didn't like fill out a bracket, bro.
All right, I'm in timeout. I got muted.
Yeah, Arizona State wouldn't have had no
That
chance.
sounds crazy, bro.
Nah,
God,
bro. It was on the second way.
what
But
you was
nah,
doing,
I
Chucky?
didn't fill out a bracket.
No, I'm
Well,
just saying when it came out and it was all said and
Hey,
done,
Rawhide, I'm gonna go ahead and get
who
out the
did you
chat, man.
anticipate playing?
All right, man.
Ohio
Appreciate you,
State.
bro.
All right, man. Y'all be
All right,
easy.
bro.
All
All
right.
right.
Who did you anticipate playing in the championship?
Ohio State. I think but I thought Georgia before Beck got hurt. It was gonna be Ohio State and Georgia, I think.
Okay,
I know I gotta say something wild.
that wasn't even wild. That was just
yeah, that was a little off,
yeah,
Chucky. You
Yeah,
normally got
bro.
off the
Yeah, bro.
yeah.
game.
You tried it, Chucking.
He's just
Man,
rooting
Man,
don't
for
do
ASU. That's all.
yeah,
listen,
don't do that no
man.
more,
You
Truck.
said Arizona
He was
State
over there
going to Notre
cheerleading.
Dame.
Hey,
Listen,
Trucky,
man.
Trucky, you got, bro. Don't do that. Don't do that.
All I was
Hey, Trucky,
saying.
hold on.
This
Wait,
is
wait, wait,
good
wait,
for the
wait. No,
sport
no, no,
because
no. Let me
Notre
help you
Dame
out,
wouldn't
bro.
have been in the 14
Don't do
playoff.
that,
Go
bro.
ahead. No,
No,
go
no,
ahead.
no. Hey, when we got company, don't do that, bro.
Yeah, that really mattered though.
Oh, come on,
Don't do
man.
that, bro. That was
Come on,
asinine.
man.
That
Come
was
on,
crazy, bro.
man.
Somebody
That
there.
was,
Come
Take a
on.
nap,
that was
Chubby. Lay it
insane.
down,
Bro.
bro. I'm glad to see you home, Chubby. Take a nap, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Yeah. That was
But it's
crazy. Right
crazy in a
there.
14 playoff. We don't even see this
And
matchup though.
listen, all I'm saying is I think they upside
Because
down that
Ohio State
bracket
and
up a
Notre
little
Dame don't
bit.
make
You
it.
know what I'm saying? That was a tough part of the bracket, man. The top half of the bracket was really tough, man. It was real tough, man. There was some real good that all them teams up there was balling.
But Chubby, if that tackle done whiff as bad as he did, bro, you can't say how I would have went, bro. Because they was right there on the goal line.
What are you
That's
talking
a
about,
hell of a
Texas?
whiff. Like a strip sack, 82 yarder, bro.
Oh, you talking about Texas game?
Yeah.
Oh, so you mean when they didn't like run the football towards
There
the
you
goal
go.
line instead
Talk
of
to me. Talk ball to me.
going sideways?
There you go.
Like they was that touchdown's only going to be to tie
So
the
bad
game.
play
I
calling.
know.
In
That's
other
what I'm
words?
saying. So
Yeah,
my
yeah.
point being, the
Mm-hmm.
tackle just completely whiffed, and he strip sacked it. Not only did he strip sack it, the ball bounced in his hand and allowed him to return it.
How does an
How?
SEC team not line up and run at your ass 4 times in a row?
Didn't they try?
Bro, I lost my mind about that. Lost my mind.
I
They got
agree,
stuffed.
Tracy.
They got stuffed on
Totally
first down.
agree.
And
They
you run
But
a toss
then,
out of the shotgun.
No, that was
then my
no,
thing
that was
is
stupid.
not
They should have ran that
they
4
had
times.
enough time. Let's just say
Sark
they
is too cute,
they
man.
do
Too cute.
they do strip sack him and he get tackled. They still in play for an opportunity to at least get it back. But when you return it, when you crib it, it's like damn, it's over.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
either
that
way,
was
I mean, look, they had 2 back-to-back pass interference. They got them from the 2 to the 1.
That's a fact.
And they didn't run at the damn end zone but one time.
Hey, bro, hold on. Help me understand it. And then when you ran, why'd you start running at the 10? Why'd you run from the 10 on the toss? Bro, run right up that motherfucker. Oh, my bad.
Why don't team is it
I don't
like,
get
they
it,
got
bro.
why don't they just put Arch in there and do like a QB sneak? Like
Oh my god!
Just run your damn running
Rob,
back for help.
I'm trying to be. Listen, Rob.
Like, what's wrong with the QB sneak, bro?
They was averaging like 4 yards to carry, wasn't they?
Why not?
I'm trying to relax, bro.
Start on. I don't know how you gonna sleep after that.
But I'm getting.
He ain't trying you, bro.
Yeah, bro. But he tripping, bro.
Wait, hold on. What's wrong with the QB sneak on the 1 yard line? Am I tripping?
Oh,
Just run it back. They was getting. They was.
Hold on, law. Am I tripping? Like, no. Fill me in. Like,
why put the backup in?
No, I'm saying Arch because he's like more physical runner. Like, what?
It worked earlier in the game.
Wait, didn't they do the fake tight end sneak with the shovel and what? Am I tripping?
I don't know. I
I'm
don't. I
I'm
wouldn't put my
running it
backup
out.
quarterback in the game is on the line. That's just not me
What
as a
you
coach or
mean?
a player.
They put the backup in when the game was on the line when they had to get a 4th down. What do you mean?
I'm saying me.
The game was on the line when they had to pick up that 4th down, was it not?
Listen. Okay, during the middle of the game, and with the game
Wait,
on the
what was
line,
that 4th down that Archie picked up? When was that? Was that in the second half? That was the second half.
That was a crucial 4th down.
That was the game. What you mean?
Yeah, that was in the second half.
The goal line
in the second half. I don't understand what you're saying.
Are we talking about the same?
Hell, Tom Brady can get a yard. Shit.
Yeah, like damn.
Wait, I don't understand this point you're trying to score, bro. Like, what you mean? I'm not gonna put my backup. They put him in the game for a big play.
In that situation, he could fumble the snap and it's over. Now I look crazy.
Yeah. He could fumble the snap. He could have
fumbled.
So instead, it was better that you started fumbled, and they took it to
I'm
the house.
saying run the ball, period. But I'm not going.
Yeah, I just said QB sneak, and if you don't think Ewing is a good QB sneaker, you put Arch in there. Like, what's wrong with that?
I'm not.
You put Arch in there. If you put Arch in there, you got to account for him to be a runner. That puts more pressure on the defense on the goal line. I think I agree with that.
So you mean to tell me if I'm Ohio State, you put the backup in the quarterback in the game, you think I'm going to think he's going to pass?
Like he's the
Hey, Law, they already did it though, bro.
They've been doing it all season.
They did it, bro.
What was he doing?
I don't know, but that 4th down, if they put Arch in there and Arch got that 1st down,
bro. Yeah. Okay,
no. Law was really trying to score some points.
I still think that's dumb.
All right, I mean that's you.
I would rather them have just lined up the center.
Thank you. Thank you.
Snuck it or headed the ball off instead of trying to swap them out. Now,
the whole point is I'm tired of the shotgun anyway in short yardage situation.
Say that again for me, Cliff. I appreciate it.
I mean, I don't understand shotgun in short yardage situations anyway.
I'm going to see the wing first.
Now I need more than a yard now because I'm standing on the 5-yard line.
I mean, the logic behind that is retarded. People you can't tell me analytics plays a part in that. I'm tired.
What it is analytics right there.
But see, you got a whole bunch of computer geeks saying you should do this and do this, and no one has actually played football on that analytic panel.
Sark just made a bad call.
Absolutely, Cliff.
I don't even
What
think
is
it was
analytics? Where he live at?
Y'all
Where
woke
he
him
come
up.
from?
Y'all woke
Right.
Yeah, that was a dumbass, bro. That was a dumbass set
My
of
exact
downs,
point,
bro.
bro. Just hand the ball off.
That was a dumbass set of downs,
Like,
bro.
why
Y'all
is he
got
doing all
to.
the extra
Is
shit?
it is the tush? You can do the tush push in college,
I
right?
mean, look, I don't think
Yeah.
either one of
Why
y'all
can't you
wrong.
just
I
do
don't
the
think
tush
either one
push,
of y'all
bro?
wrong.
Like what?
But I feel where you're coming from though with that.
Yeah, I'm
That's
just
all I
saying.
was saying.
Before you had to do
Do the
all
tush
of that,
push, bro.
swapping
Like
people out, I'm like, bro, just do the easy.
I feel that.
Just do the
Hey,
easy. Why?
Absolutely,
I
Rob.
feel that.
Hold on.
I feel
no,
that.
that's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you
I
what I would
feel
have
that.
did. I would have. Hey, listen. I would have been so. I would have told them I'm coming at you. I've been so overloaded.
Yo,
I'd be like,
that's
man,
what Cam
Had you
Ward be doing.
wanted to get cute, had
That's
you
what Cam
wanted
Ward
to
be
That's
get
what
doing.
I'm
cute,
Cam Ward
talking
be like,
about, Rob.
like
That's
how
my
Clark
kind of
do,
stuff.
right?
no, I
Cam
wouldn't have
Ward a
cared,
demon
bro.
for that shit, bro.
I
I'm
You
wouldn't
got
just
have
finna
cared.
smash you in the mouth and get this yard
Yeah,
and score
that's
this
all I would have
touchdown.
did.
That's
that's it.
all it
That's
is.
all I would have
Okay.
did. That's all I
Period.
would have did.
That's it.
Sark got too cute.
Yeah, you could have just called the play, no huddle, called it from the line out loud. You could have just told them
Yeah,
what it was about to be.
yeah, exactly. I don't get it.
At that
I
point, it really
swear to
don't
God, I
matter. It's
don't get
really
it,
just
bro. I
all
swear to
right.
God.
Who's gonna make the block? It really don't matter at that point.
Nah, yeah, just put
Bro.
the running back in and sneak it with the running back. Because he's a
You
running
know,
back.
Texas
Bro,
is
you
soft.
crazy,
That's
man.
why they didn't do
What are
it.
you
Texas
on,
is
bro? Do
soft.
you not understand?
nah,
I'm
like
just
I don't know. I don't think that's a bad idea though to say that though, bro. I don't think so. I don't think that's horrible. That's not out of this world horrible to say put Arch Manning in there
with the
to
tight end.
run a misdirection
Under the
with your
tight end's
running
leg
back
on
or
foot
some
down.
shit. I don't think
It's
that's
crazy
I
to put
don't
Arch in there for a
think
QB sneak. Y'all
Hold
got
on,
it.
hold on.
especially when they
Is it
did it earlier in
crazy?
the game.
How is it
Go
crazy
ahead.
to put him in at all ever? I don't know why you had Quinn in at this point of the year anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean he probably should have been benched a while ago.
I don't know.
So you bench
That's
him
the
then?
Huh?
So you bench. So at what point was you supposed to bench him?
When did he have
Any
that
of the
injury?
other times that he was throwing interceptions and shit instead of getting the job done.
Arch should have just kept the job. Fuck it. When Quinn went down.
I kind of think so. But
hey,
that's
Arch
an
did have
opinion,
some
bro.
rough
That's an
games.
opinion. I mean,
He had some rough games though. He had a rough game or two.
Quinn is, I mean, Quinn is
Yeah,
whatever,
but
right?
if you put the freshman in there and he starts to have
Wait,
rough
you're not a
games,
freshman, by the way.
do you stay? Do you ride the freshman out?
Well, he's not a freshman, by the way. And
he's
what do
a
you mean?
redshirt freshman. He was, yeah.
Well, I mean,
So what is he
yeah,
talking
okay.
like? So okay, he's a what? A sophomore?
Whatever. He was not. That wasn't his first year playing ball.
He didn't
Where's
play
he
much.
going
Then he
now?
got
That's
then
the
he started in the
question.
ball
Where is
game.
he
Then he
He's a
going?
left.
Is he
redshirt
declaring
freshman,
for
bro.
the draft?
That's what it is.
Yeah, okay.
He doesn't have the playing experience, regardless.
I
He
mean,
doesn't have
he
ample
has
amount of
multiple.
playing experience. So if you put him in and he starts to struggle, what do you do at that point?
What do you mean if you start to struggle? Was he that much
It was
worse than Quinn?
said that.
I was just gonna say, I don't know. I mean, Quinn's been struggling for 3 years. I don't know what the
I
question.
mean, shit. True.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
I
Quinn
don't
was
know.
just in the semifinals last year too, though.
Yeah, but that's coming from the Big 12 when it was watered it down the way you got there too. Come on, man. It's not the you're acting like Quinn is so good. What
I'm
big
not
game
acting like he's
besides the
good, but my
Alabama
thing is
game has
this:
the dude won?
They ain't letting
but I'm
Texas
saying,
ain't letting Quinn back though.
yeah,
You
but
gotta go.
you. I think at best you get the same product you get when you put a guy in there that's not
Except
the
you
runner.
should
got,
not,
but you
You're
except
gonna
got the
have to
running ability though.
here's
if
the
you do the
difference.
same thing and put Arch in there and he starts to
Let
struggle.
me tell you why there is a difference.
How?
Because with Arch, with Quinn, you're not running the football. It's a zero chance. They're not going to run the ball with him. With Arch in the game, you have to account for him as a runner, which means you got to get a hat on a hat.
Yeah,
That's
you got
why.
+1 in the run game. Yep.
So your point is shit. So Texas should damn near be a
I
contender to
guess.
win it all this year.
Yeah, they're gonna be one of the favorites next
You
year.
hear me?
What you mean?
We'll see.
They're losing a lot of guys. They're not going
Yeah.
to be necessarily.
I don't know what they're doing in the portal and recruiting. I'm just saying they're gonna have a quarterback.
So where's
But I'm
Quinn
saying
Ewers
at the
end
end of
up?
the game,
Did
if
he
you got a quarterback, you should have a shot. Especially, I mean, it's Texas now. I mean, damn, how much could they really be losing?
Yeah, that's my.
That is true. Texas got talent.
Like, come on now, like,
Come on, Jason. Come on,
They're
Jason.
going to lose
No,
some
we
important
agree.
pieces though on that offensive line, which is their biggest. And
yeah,
with
but
that
they
offensive
reload
line,
that
you can't
shit.
get a
They all
yard.
that money
Come
they
on,
got.
man.
They're gonna reload, Jason. They're gonna reload.
Can I say something
Yeah,
about
they gonna
Texas?
reload.
The problem why Texas lost last night It's because I want to blame it on Quinn Ewers, but it wasn't his fault. It was some of his fault, but it wasn't all his fault. The person you need to blame is Stark. Stark is an idiot, bro. And I understand that people don't. I mean, they may not agree with that because they want to save face and they want to say that he's a competent head coach. He's really not at that level. He might be competent because he got the better talent than everybody else. To me, he's like, I mean, I ain't gonna say that. To me, he's competent because he got better talent than most people. But when the talent is comparable, he does not win. And the reason why is because him as a coach, he might say the right things in the meeting rooms. He might say, in 1997 against Ohio State, Texas and Ohio State played a similar offensive defensive scheme, and this is the results. And that shit sound good to boosters, alumni, and athletic directors. But when it comes to game time decisions, he is Brian Kelly to me. That nigga don't win nothing. He ain't never won nothing. He ain't accomplished shit, and he probably ain't gonna ever accomplish shit because he think he the smartest man on the football field. And the problem with that was old dude from Georgia, the coach from Georgia, said we're gonna put 7 people on the line of scrimmage, identify this Mike backer. You need to slide your protection because if not, we're gonna get to you because we know you ain't a mobile quarterback. And they did that in each game and dog walked their ass every game. And Ohio State basically did the same thing with 4 people. That's what made that game look even worse. So it is what it is, man. That's all I want to say because I was listening to y'all today. I just wasn't trying to be interrupted today.
So in essence, basically, you just said he a good play caller.
He ain't even that, and he's a good. To me, that's why I say he's Brian Kelly, bro. They're one and the same. Them niggas are not good coaches. They just have keys to the Ferraris, and them niggas win games that you should win. They won every game they should won. In the games that they say, well, like you asked last night, Rod, who got Texas? Did nobody say they had Texas? Nobody, because they knew they was gonna lose. So to me, you're not a great play caller when that discussion is brought up at all. I mean, maybe that's just me. I can't talk for nobody else, but
I agree with you. Well, I think me and you saying one and the same things only because you basically saying he's not a good head coach. I'm saying the reason he is in them semifinals was because of some of his play calling, but his decision making in crutch moments is where he fall off at. You see, when he supposed to run the ball and when he supposed to do certain things that should be done as far as game planning and preparation, it tends to get a little iffy. And you be like, why the hell did he did that? And we're having that same conversation about him right there at that moment when he supposed to make the simplest decision when you said he thinks he's the smartest man on the field. And so instead of doing what the dumbest man would do, which would be simply turn
and go backwards
and go and go.
Oh, your phone going up, bro.
yeah, that's all I want to say because I watched the game.
Yeah, we got you.
And go and go jumbo and go overlord. Come straight. I mean, listen.
Yeah, that to me, and that's what's gonna get him fired. Like Raha brought up a very, 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 and I didn't even think about it until he said it. He said, "This is his 3rd year as a head coach, so now you can evaluate him and whether or not can you move on from him." And
this is his 11th year as a head coach.
Yeah, no, I'm just being honest. I mean, he brought it up. He brought up a real honest point. This is 3rd year. I mean, you can start evaluating, start under the guise of okay, we giving you all the same metrics that Ohio State is giving Ryan Day. We giving you all the same metrics that Georgia is giving Kirby Smart. We're giving you all the same metrics as Notre Dame is giving Marcus Freeman. You can't keep losing these big games with the plethora of talent that we getting you, especially in the state of Texas. The second, I would say, it's the second best football state in the United States. Florida being number 1 because of the condensed population and the stars that come out of it, but Texas is number 2. So there's no way in hell you can keep making this excuse, or we're gonna come back better next year, or you can blame it on Quinn Ewers because he can't identify a Mike linebacker and he getting sacked on a play that's detrimental to the whole team and the game and going to the national championship. You just can't keep getting away with that, man.
Pre-game Prozac.
So, and like I said, I might not know every guy on the roster, but I am a Texas fan. I watched that whole game. I muted everybody. I watched that game every snap, and What I saw from Stark was he can't beat people on an elite level when it comes to X's.
He never has.
But I
Just
mean,
can't.
as I said yesterday, I watching the game. The only problem I had with him watching it was that series right there. I thought he messed that up, right? But
He's good in
I
between
ain't.
the 20s, right? Once it
Yeah,
gets
I ain't
in that
really.
red
Yeah,
area
I
and
ain't really had no.
convinces,
Yeah, I ain't had no more problem with him, right? But and another thing, y'all, I ain't trying to fire the man, but I do agree. I'm like, after year 3, year 4 is the decision making, and he ain't won a big game. And I know y'all gonna say Alabama. Alabama was a big okay.
but
It
if
was
you're
a
a Texas
big
fan,
game.
going, you've been going through a decade plus of 5 and 7 and shit like that.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, Alabama game had no implications. The problem is with me, my biggest problem with Stark is there's absolutely no reason why you got beat by Washington.
Yeah.
That
2 years in a
there
row.
was no reason at all for that. Right. And this year, on 2 occasions, the only team you had to play this year was Georgia, and you couldn't beat them.
Yep.
Not one time. I mean, you didn't even have a good showing.
I had to get beat by Arizona State too.
Yeah, and I guess that's my only question about Stark. So it seemed like to me, like he had got beat Washington last year and then got
Good
smoked.
play calling.
Is that what it is?
That's it.
But it's philosophy to an extent though, because if you look, man, you can't move the ball like you move the hell out of the ball. They're always bad inside the 20. They're always bad inside the 20. That's the problem. If they have a better opportunity of scoring from 60 than they do from 20.
That's my point. Good play calling. That's it.
Right.
That's all he got when it comes down
I
to
like it.
scheming.
I think that he can call a good play, but he doesn't do everything is cute. Everything is soft. He won't line up like when he was at people talk about him. Well, look at what they did at Alabama. You know what? At Alabama, he had Saban in his ear saying, if you don't fucking run the football, I'm gonna put my foot in your ass.
Thank you.
I rest
Yes.
my case. He's a great play caller. When that shit is clicking and working, motherfuckers is they scored on the same play twice. That should let you know he can scheme that shit up. But like I said, when it comes down to those moments and those clutch decisions, the ones that make you a champion, he can't fucking make them.
Yeah.
And my question is this though. Y'all help me understand that. I think I asked you yesterday. Why, when you got equal or superior talent, you minimize your talent by playing soft? Help me understand that, bro. I cannot understand it. You see a fucking Arizona State hit them some bitches in the mouth, and let's don't act like Ohio State was just that much more talented to them. They could have went mono e mono.
No, they could.
I
They could, but they don't. But that's not the way they
I
play,
don't
though.
understand
It's not the way they play.
But tell me this, okay? Hold on, y'all may know better than me. Help me understand a coach's philosophy, how he thinking when he know his advantage is I got the beef. Why would you? Why you want to be fun and gun and you got the beef?
Let me
No,
answer
he,
you.
he,
So,
he think he think he's smarter than everybody else.
that's right. In
Just him. I
11
ain't
years,
just
the
talking about
dude
him.
has
I'm
won
not just
more
talking
than
about him.
10 twice, just the last 2 years. And
Right.
make no mistake, both of those years they had kitty schedules. When it came to the SEC schedule they had this year, Oklahoma got the toughest schedule. They played Tennessee where they're playing Vandy. They played Ole Miss where they're playing Mississippi State. They're playing South Carolina where they're playing Kentucky. They're playing Alabama and they're playing and plus Auburn. I mean, literally, they go through it. Arkansas. They're playing all the bottom end teams except for Georgia. Those are the only really. They played Georgia twice. That was aside from the Michigan game. Michigan won that damn good. Who the hell did they play? A&M.
Yeah, I know. I got
So
it.
that's the whole thing. Is that they got through that, and everybody's giving them love. And there's plenty of talent. Don't get me wrong, but had they played Oklahoma's schedule, they probably have the same damn record.
Well,
I mean, yeah. Tough. So. But I'm just saying though, tonight when y'all watch the Baltimore Ravens game tonight, they're gonna be down there in the red zone.
Don't start
the 5.
that, bro.
Okay,
don't start that, bro.
What are they gonna do? Tell me.
Why I can't talk about that, bro? What?
Cause, bro, he gonna win tonight, bro. I know what you finna do, bro. Every time he go to the playoffs.
No. I was just gonna talk about running the ball, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're gonna be inside the 5, Baltimore Ravens. And Pittsburgh gonna know they running to the right. Baltimore gonna know to the right. And they're gonna run that thing to the right and get it in his zone, bro. It's gonna
Well, they
happen.
better with Derrick Henry and Lamar, and you can't run the
Yeah,
damn.
I don't. So that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why Sark and then he ain't the only one. I'm like, just line up and hand the fucking ball off.
I hear that. I feel you, Ron. I feel that.
I'm just
I
saying, bro,
get
my
it.
bad.
It warms my heart that they do it though. Fuck Texas.
Oh my god, yeah, Oklahoma fan. Yeah, I'm like, hold on, you won't get away with it today, but I got some words for you. I got some questions to ask about Oklahoma. Why they signed that dude to extension? I heard Bishop. He gave me a rundown. I heard this thing. I'm just interested in what you said. But hey, yeah, I'm gonna give you a rundown. Don't think I can't dress down Oklahoma.
Come on with it. I ain't scared.
I'm just saying.
I tell you, it's a simple answer. Why were they bad this year? Their offense was hot garbage. Hot garbage.
Is Brent Venables the man?
He's still got to prove that. He's got to figure it out offensively and stop being so. There's a few things that he's still working at, and I don't know if it's gonna work out at OU or not. I really don't.
He's going into year 4.
I don't know. Here's the one thing I would tell you: if their offense is even serviceable whatsoever, they were in the hundreds in almost every category and on offense. A lot of that was injuries. Can't account for that many injuries. That was a lot of injuries. But the other part is that it was a terrible, terrible duo that were calling plays. Terrible. You can't
wait a
go
minute.
from top 5 in the country 1 year on offense and go to in the hundreds the next and expect to be good.
When were they top 5 in offense?
The year before in scoring and total offense. The year before under Levy, they were supposedly getting continuity. It didn't happen that way. It was bad. It was bad. I don't know how much of them you watched, but it was bad. Now they got the number 1 quarterback from the portal coming in, Mature. That's a Mountain West quarterback, so I'm not promising you that's a good thing. But Michael Harkins is the truth. If they're going to run even just top 40 with the defense that they have, they're going to have a chance, even with that ridiculous schedule.
A chance to do what? Like win, go to a bowl?
They're going to play for the playoff next year. They may not get there. But they have. Wait till you see they have to play better offense, and they've got offensive weapons now. They do, and got rid of those coaches that they should have gotten rid of.
Hey, did Clemson run the same defense when Venables was there? It don't look the same.
The 4-2-5, 4-2-5, 4-3.
I thought y'all was a 3-3-5.
Nah, he's not on the 3-3-5 anymore. You can't run the 3-3-5 in the SEC. That shit.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was about to say. That was my next thing.
Hey, they were the most defensively speaking. They were in the top 15 in most categories. The problem was that they didn't have an offense that was staying on the field long enough. You're going to give up points at some point, but efficiency-wise, they were number 1 in the country. They also forced more fumbles than anybody else too. They were right there, man. They really were. And they got better. They already got better this year. Danny Stutzman's going to hurt, but you've got Kendall Daniels coming in. They're going to change the way things were with him. He was the stud coming in. They got Marvin Jones Jr. They could get the best out of him on the edges, along with you got R. Mason Thomas coming back. They're going to be good. They're going to be good on defense. That's not the question. The question is going to be, do you make the next step at offense? And I would argue you don't have to be. They were in pretty much every game with no offense. So just remember that I said this next year whenever they're competing for that spot. Whether they get there or not, it's a tough road down the stretch. There's no two ways around it.
Okay. In every game.
With 2 or 3 weeks left, they will.
I figured something out.
This is your first time over here. You saying in every game. I'm gonna let you play. I'll give you a pass on that. I'll give you a pass on in every game.
They were in every game. They were in every game except for Texas and then the South Carolina game. They blew that, no doubt. But I would tell you
Yeah.
part of that was you chip in with Bauer Sharp on All-American defensive ends instead of having the damn left tackle blocking him. It don't make sense. You got to make it make sense. And it's what I'm saying. It was an absolutely ridiculous game plan. My dog could have called a better game.
Yeah.
So if you don't have one, you can't have the other. You know that. There's only so much you're going to do on one side of the ball.
Yeah.
Man, we'll bet. I think this is a good stopping spot because it's the
Oh, you
fourth
think
quarter.
so?
And I
All
gotta get
right.
ready for what's hey man, hey Jason, wait, hey, appreciate you coming over, trucking. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks for
EA
having
Law
me.
Dog, oh man. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
I'm
Lexus
fam,
drive the
dog.
clip.
Come on.
Appreciate
You know
you.
what I'm saying? So man, I appreciate everybody trucking. Anything you got?
Nah, man. Hey, thank y'all for having me. Y'all already know what time it is, fam. Jason, come back.
Yeah, for
man.
sure, man.
You
Y'all
guys,
check out
y'all
Jason.
welcome to join up on mine too.
Yeah,
Anytime, man.
we gonna head that way. We gotta get your times. Let us know, man. Where you at? Get your times down. Let me put your show in the chat. I thought
Yeah,
Panda would have done that,
we
but
do Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning time at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. So it's we do Rise and Shine college football. So we do 2 or 3 hours there, and then we have a Tuesday night show, and then we kind of play it by ear. I've been doing a nighttime show, late one, but I can't do it all the time if I'm doing morning shows too, man. There's
right,
only
I get it. I get it. I
hey,
get it.
but I am enjoying. I mean, shoot, man, we can get together anytime you guys want to, man. I'm
Yeah,
good.
true. Hey, do you let
Justin
people up
Herbert
on
just hit a strike.
what'd you say, Law?
My
I was gonna
bad.
tell him put me
But yeah,
down. I'll come through for a night. You know, I watch that early morning, but I'm working. So, but that night show, I'm there whenever it's time. Like
Just
how
know,
you run
Jason, trucking
yeah,
always got
this is
some
my
crazy
first
shit
time
to say.
chopping it up with you, bro. Yeah, it was cool, fam.
Yeah, for sure.
how you run it? Do you do panel? Like how you do it?
Usually I've been wanting to do more call-ins. My audience doesn't call as much, so I'll start doing more call-in stuff where you guys can call in.
Okay.
I don't know that, and I actually don't mind this so much, but I mean I've watched you guys a few times where, man, it's tough to know what's happening. So I mean, today I was able to kind of get in, felt like I had something to say with it. Sometimes I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
I'll just be real.
Yes, Jason, I agree, honey. Raw runs a tight ship, child. You better know what you're saying, or you better jump in the water if it is.
Right.
We ain't that bad, our Alexis. Are we that bad?
I'm
I
just,
love the show,
I'm
man.
just
I actually
kidding.
really like
I
y'all show.
actually appreciate it. I told y'all these college kids don't look like they're gonna be going to school no time soon because all they think about is football and money. So I go get my own football degree listening to y'all. So I sure appreciate it.
It's a great show, man. I enjoy your show, man, for sure.
Yes,
Trust me,
enjoyed it.
check you out too, man.
All right, no doubt. Appreciate it, man. All right, y'all. Salute, fam.
All right, man.
Yeah,
We gonna end it there.
Hey,
Go ahead,
Y'all
Law.
know.
and I was
Go
gonna
ahead,
tell
Law.
Cleve, I was gonna tell Clear, but appreciate it, bro. You ain't do no whining today, bro. I thank you, bro.
Yeah, appreciate that,
I
man.
ain't got time for you
Appreciate it,
today.
Yeah, for sure. All right, fellas, I'm out. Peace.
All right.
All right.
Raw high niggas exposure. I know they listening, judging they actions. Season 3. You may be a visitor, but never a stranger. Raw doesn't present the information, just trying to have a conversation. Super fans and haters come together. Welcome to the channel. Hit the link, join the panel. Laughs and good times, wild and crazy nights with quiet storm. Never know where it's gonna go. We're back to back to back. No other can compare. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Right, raw high.
Raw high, need your focus. I know they listening, judging their actions. We see you. Season 3, you may be a visitor, but never a stranger. Raw doesn't present the information, just trying to have a conversation. Super fans and haters come together. Welcome to the channel. Hit the link, join the panel. Laughs, good time, wild and crazy nights with quiet storm. Never know where it's gonna go. We're back to back to back. No other can compare. Like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Right, raw high.
is the head that wears the crown.
You out
Heavy
here.
is the head.
What's that?